He's a man with muscles for brains. As the youngest champion of the World Powerlifting Championship, a tough guy who could handle 10 tons at just 17, he's now putting all his effort into breaking the record. But the next second, everything goes dark, and he collapses straight down. Did I pass out again? He thinks groggily. Are my muscles still not big enough? Ding! Unlocked top-tier skill, infinite muscle growth. Ugh, being too muscular might turn girls off. Ding! Compensation rare skill, combat exclusive lean physique. Should I pursue fashion or pursue full pecs? Lu Hanyu, for once using his brain, struggles with a decision. Wait, what am I even thinking? Shouldn't I be thinking about protein right now? Ding! Acquired special skill, Eagle Eye level E, with bonus passive unshakable composure. Who keeps nagging in my ear? Wait, did I order my chicken breast delivery? Just then, a series of clucking sounds interrupts his thoughts. Lu Hanyu slowly opens his eyes, and the next moment he's completely confused. Where am I? Why are there only chickens? The next second, his passive skill automatically triggers, and he calms down to analyze. I was just at the competition, but now I'm on a grassland. All I see is vast grassland and flocks of chicks. This makes Lu Hanyu fall into deep thought, combining these 2 points. The next moment, inspiration strikes. I must have eaten too much chicken breast, so God threw me into chicken hell. At this moment, a chick approaches and pecks his face. Lu Hanyu instantly explodes in anger. A mere chick dares to attack me. He throws a punch, and the chick drops dead on the spot. I was already annoyed about not getting my protein today. Suddenly, he looks at the chick on the ground, and his eyes light up. Isn't this protein? When he looks at the chick, Eagle Eye level E activates automatically, and a line of text pops up. What's with this voice? Is the god of fitness reminding me? Lu Hanyu is overjoyed, and his gaze at the flock of chicks instantly becomes intense. The next moment, he leaps toward the flock. Since it's protein, I won't hold back. And so, the chicks that were warm just a second ago are reduced to cold skeletons the next. Lu Hanyu burps. This place is basically heaven, but just as he's satisfied, he notices something wrong. Why are my arms thinner? And where are my massive pecs? I can even touch my back now. The last time I could reach, my back was in kindergarten. He immediately rushes to the riverside, and when he sees his reflection in the water, he completely loses it. He painfully clutches his head and roars, my muscles, where are my huge chunks of muscles? Compared to where he is now, he's more concerned about where his muscles went. Then he walks to a large tree, grips the trunk tightly with both hands, veins bulging on his arms. With a sharp tearing sound, he actually uproots the tree. Hard work won't betray me. He shoulders the tree, log squats, starting now. In the blink of an eye, 3 months pass. Lu Hanyu gasps heavily. As expected, hard work really does betray me. My muscles haven't grown at all. Since coming here, nothing good has happened, except for getting plenty of protein. Just as Lu Hanyu is about to return to his fitness roots and do another set, a huge shadow looms over him. He turns around, his pupils quaking. What the heck is this? A giant chick taller than him stands behind him. Lu Hanyu takes off running. Why is this chick so huge? Did I eat too many chicks? So the chicken god is taking revenge? He runs while feeling wronged. I just want strong muscles. Is that too much to ask? The chick's attack arrives in an instant. This thing is fast and powerful. If it hits me, I'll probably drop dead immediately. Just then, Lu Hanyu suddenly can't look away. Damn, this thing's pecs are too beautiful. I'm so envious. I can't take my eyes off them. He even forgets to run and starts thinking, could flapping wings help build pecs? I thought my muscles weren't growing because I wasn't strong enough. So I've been doing strength training these past months. Have I been wasting my time all along? The next moment, his body fills with fighting spirit. I can't die. I need to build pecs this round too. But 2 ordinary chicks block his path. Lu Hanyu curses impatiently. These stupid chickens are so annoying. Just then, Eagle Eye skill activates automatically. Lu Hanyu curses. Damn it, I don't need this. The giant chick behind him suddenly has red glowing eyes and charges forward. Lu Hanyu screams in fear. I wasn't talking about you. I meant I don't need the skill to activate. Eagle Eye skill still triggers automatically, and a line of text pops up. Target, cockatrice, protein content 12,000 kilograms. Consuming cockatrice breast meat will grant rare skill, remarkable muscle recovery. At this moment, Lu Hanyu freezes. It's actually muscle recovery. Instantly, intense fighting spirit bursts from him. He dodges all the chicks' attacks, although everyone thinks muscles are built during exercise. That's not true. Exercise damages muscle tissue, and in this state, muscle function temporarily decreases, and strength levels drop. However, after proper nutrition and rest, the damaged muscle tissue becomes more developed than before. This is called super recovery. In other words, muscles don't grow during exercise, but during rest. Therefore, the shorter the muscle recovery time, the faster muscles grow. The faster muscles grow, the sooner I can escape this scrawny body. To escape this scrawny body, chick, you must die. Even if I bet my life, I want to gain pecs as solid as a statue. Warning, combat exclusive. Lean physique skill power exceeds limit. Remove, don't bother me during battle. Lu Hanyu roars. Skill removed. Muscle strength limit broken. Special skill acquired. Skeletal transformation. The cockatrice's attack is right in front of him. Lu Hanyu raises his fist. Behold my ultimate universal chicken punch. With one punch, the cockatrice is instantly pierced through. Warning. Muscle tolerance damaged. Need to restart combat exclusive lean physique skill. Lu Hanyu looks completely indifferent. Do whatever you want, because from now on I'll definitely have unlimited chicken breast every day. Lu Hanyu, enjoying his chicken, doesn't notice several figures in the darkness staring straight at him. They stare at Lu Hanyu, drooling continuously. Sorry, brother. I haven't smelled meat in so long. A nearby goblin pats his shoulder. It's okay. We need to be careful. We don't know if he's the one who defeated the cockatrice. He might be a monster that looks human. How about we go ask him? One goblin suggests. The other two goblins are shocked. Are you crazy? What if he's a dangerous monster? At this moment, Liu Hanyu, who's enjoying his chicken, also notices them. After all, it's hard not to notice being stared at while eating. Liu Hanyu immediately asks who they are. One of them immediately says, "We're ghouls living in Ali Mine Mountain." Liu Hanyu immediately activates Eagle Eye skill. They're indeed ghouls, so they're not lying. Then the young ghouls say they've been searching for the person who defeated the cockatrice. Liu Hanyu panics. Does this chicken have an owner? But he still tells the truth. I already took it down. The three young ghouls immediately dance with joy. We finally found you. The ghouls immediately explain. The big chicken was the strongest creature in Ali Mine Mountain. After it died, all the races started fighting over territory. But what Liu Hanyu cares about is, their legs are so thin. One light punch from me would probably make them cry for a long time. Then the ghouls mention that although the cockatrice wasn't very smart, with it around, territory divisions were always clear. Now that it's dead, the races are fighting again, so they really hope Liu Hanyu can help them. Hearing this, Liu Hanyu scratches his chin and starts thinking, can you repeat that request for help? I didn't hear it. The young ghoul says, we've already said it 9 times. Liu Hanyu awkwardly scratches his head. 10 reps per set, 10 sets total? The young ghoul doesn't understand at all. What do you mean 10 sets? What are you talking about? Liu Hanyu instantly gets angry. I'm saying if you want to do something, you have to try 10 times. One ghoul purses its lips. Another impatiently scratches its arm. Clearly they don't understand. They immediately stand up. Let's just go. He doesn't want to help us. Liu Hanyu awkwardly says, I'm busy building muscle. I really don't have time to help you. One ghoul says it's okay. You have your own things to do anyway. Liu Hanyu looks at these skin and bones ghouls and can't bear it. He suggests, why don't you take some chicken breast before you go? I can't finish it all myself anyway. One ghoul says, go ahead and take some. Everyone hasn't had fresh meat in a long time. Liu Hanyu apologizes for not being able to help them. The young ghoul says, no worries, thanks for the food. After saying this, he walks to a large piece of chicken, but just as he's about to pick up the chicken breast, Liu Hanyu stops him. He asks curiously, what's wrong? Immediately Liu Hanyu launches into a long explanation about how dangerous deadlifting with wrong form is. You almost said goodbye to your slender waist just now, you know that? The young ghoul immediately waves his hands apologetically, but thinks, what did I do wrong? Liu Hanyu can tell what he's thinking from his expression. Don't tell me you don't know what a deadlift is? The young ghouls immediately leave their hands. What's that? Is it edible? Liu Hanyu sighs. No wonder your physiques are like this. When Liu Hanyu was young, his master told him, Hanyu, when you can teach others, it means you've truly learned. So when your training gets stuck, try teaching others. Try teaching others. Liu Hanyu strokes his chin, watching the 3 ghouls wobbling away carrying the chicken breast. The next moment, he appears in front of them and lifts the chicken breast from their hands. Eat your fill here first, then go back to your village later. The 3 ghouls immediately ask happily, are you serious? Liu Hanyu says immediately, yes, you can go back tomorrow. In the blink of an eye, it's the next day. At the ghoul village, the Ghoul King sits arrogantly in his chair. Welcome, great warrior. I am the Ghoul King who rules the ghoul race. Then he asks, you didn't run into any trouble on your way here? Liu Hanyu immediately says there was no trouble, but thinks, this little thing looks really peculiar. Skinny limbs and belly bulging like a toad. It looks so funny. Glad you didn't run into trouble. We received the gift you gave, and I've already ordered my people to bring back the rest of the meat, Liu Hanyu says worriedly. Having them bring it back isn't a problem, but it'll probably take a long time. The Ghoul King suddenly laughs. Are you worried about those servants? Liu Hanyu looks annoyed. This guy really pisses me off. Then the Ghoul King's tone shifts. Mr. Hanyu defeated the cockatrice, which really created quite a bit of trouble. As you can see, we ghouls are the weakest race in Ali Mine Mountain. No one except me can use skills, and we can only survive by eating carrion. But Liu Hanyu catches the key point and raises his hand. You just mentioned skills, right? Can you tell me more about them? Are you kidding me? You're asking me what skills are? Liu Hanyu immediately says he's not joking. Hearing this, the Ghoul King trembles all over and starts laughing coldly. He looks toward the door and shouts, drag the ones who brought this guy here. In an instant, the 3 young ghouls are brought in. Bring them before me and make them kneel. The young ghoul asks in confusion, Your Majesty, why did you summon us? The Ghoul King looks at them impatiently. You probably don't know what crime you've committed. Then he looks to the side. Bring that thing over. Several ghouls on the side work together to carry over a huge wooden club. The Ghoul King picks up the club while saying, swearing absolute loyalty to powerful clan members is a rule passed down since ancient times. But you brought a fake who's pretending to have defeated the cockatrice. I sent you to do this to give you a chance to become my subordinates. How dare you lie to me? The next moment, he's about to smash down with the club. For the crime of deceiving me, you'll pay with your lives. Activating skill, double heavy shield. After saying this, the giant hammer in his hand slams down hard, raising heavy dust. The young ghoul looks ahead in terror. The Ghoul King's attack is blocked by Liu Hanyu with one hand. Liu Hanyu stares at him blankly. You clearly have time to exercise, but you waste it here bullying the weak. Is this a custom of this village? But the Ghoul King stares at him in disbelief. Did the skill fail to activate? But I definitely put force into it when I struck. I both activated the skill and exerted force. so why can this guy block it with one hand? But his brain capacity doesn't support thinking this much, so he immediately sneers, "You're lucky today. I'll show you one more trick. My heavy shield skill can increase a weapon's weight from 2 to 10 times. Lu Hanyu is shocked. It can double a weapon's weight? That's too overpowered. The Ghoul King continues, "My skill can also boost my already great strength by up to 4 times. If I multiply this 32 kilogram club's weight by 4, then double the swinging force. Can you still block it?" After saying this, he activates the skill Quadruple Heavy Shield and strikes down at Lu Hanyu. This scene startles the young ghouls. But what's more shocking comes next. The club hitting Lu Hanyu's arm shatters into pieces with a crack. This terrifying scene makes the Ghoul King's face distort in fear. "Your skill really startled me." Lu Hanyu's voice comes through. Then his cold gaze stares straight at the Ghoul King. "But what startles me more is your character." The next moment, Lu Hanyu extends his arm, performing a dumbbell front raise, and suddenly grabs the Ghoul King's neck with his fingers. "Do you have the power to control others' lives as you please?" The Ghoul King stares at the man before him in terror, knowing that if he doesn't answer well today, someone might be pulling weeds on his grave next year. Lu Hanyu's angry voice comes again. "You think you're tough? What's your total for the big 3? The Ghoul King looks confused. "What are the big 3? Does it mean hitting each other 3 times? Lu Hanyu immediately explains. "The powerlifting big 3 means bench press, squat, and deadlift. Have you never heard of them?" All the ghouls on the side nod uniformly. "I see. And so a competition begins." The Ghoul King looks at the object in front of him and asks, "So I just need to lift this, right?" Lu Hanyu nods. "Correct. Don't forget our agreement. If I win, you become my subordinate." Lu Hanyu looks indifferent and even reminds him, "Remember to control the pressure. Don't break your back." "This idiot." The Ghoul King smirks wickedly. He definitely didn't expect that my heavy shield skill can also reduce weight. Then he activates heavy shield 1/4. The next moment, he easily lifts 200 kilograms. The Ghoul King points at Lu Hanyu. "Your turn." Lu Hanyu boredly scratches his butt. "Not bad. Next time, use more glute strength. Watch carefully, everyone. If I win, I'll require you all to deadlift too." The deadlift is a full body exercise that tests maximum human strength. Although it looks like lifting the barbell with back muscles, actually the lower body muscles exert the most force. Because there's a risk of injury, you must always warm up your joints and complete the entire movement with proper form. Deadlift step 1, stand firmly with feet shoulder width apart. Step 2, chest out, stabilize the torso with back, waist, abs, and glutes. Step 3, bring the barbell vertically close to the body, along the shins and thighs, pivot on your feet, and lift the barbell with lower body and full body force. Step 4, after lifting the barbell to knee level, just as Lu Hanyu is about to lift, the Ghoul King lets out a wicked laugh from the side. "Can you still lift it now?" Quadruple Heavy Shield. The next moment, Lu Hanyu exerts all his strength, veins instantly bulging on his arms, and the barbell is hurled straight into the air. This scene shocks everyone. Lu Hanyu watches the barbell become a dot of light in the sky and thinks, "Looks like I didn't control my strength well." Then he looks at the ghouls. Apologetically, "You'll need to make a new barbell." The Ghoul King stutters as he looks at Lu Hanyu. You are the new Ghoul King. Please take us in." Lu Hanyu looks at this scene in confusion. And so, the new Ghoul King is hastily crowned, having lost in the Big 3 competition. The ghouls obediently listen to Lu Hanyu. From them, Lu Hanyu learns that this world is completely different from where he used to live. Legend says people have come to this world and left it to return to their own world. But Lu Hanyu feels that returning with this scrawny body would only make people look down on him, so he decides to put that idea aside for now. In the world of Lethia, the law of the jungle is deeply rooted. Therefore, after witnessing Lu Hanyu's immense strength, the Ghoul King is thoroughly convinced. To avoid confusion, you'll be called Old Ghoul King. From now on, we're here. This is where we train our warriors. Although their physiques gave him a general idea, he didn't expect it to be this extreme. This is completely empty. He looks at the Old Ghoul King helplessly. "What exactly have you been training?" The Old Ghoul King says, "Sorry, I really don't know about that area." Lu Hanyu shakes his head. "Even without top coaches and equipment, I'll still require you to train." Then he shouts, "Ghouls! Everyone assemble in 5 rows!" Soon, a group of ghouls gathers on the field, looking at each other. Lu Hanyu then stands in front and launches into a passionate speech. "I heard we ghouls are looked down upon by other races, so we can only survive on what other monsters leave behind. What do you need? Organization? Power? Enemy reconnaissance? Speed? All wrong. You poor guys need strong physiques. In the next 3 months, I will forge you into proper soldiers." 3 months? Is such a short time enough? A ghoul asks doubtfully. Another ghoul is full of fighting spirit. "Good. We don't want to be looked down upon anymore." Lu Hanyu glances over. "Good. Great spirit. Now let's begin. Everyone do push-ups." The ghouls look at him in confusion. "What's a push-up?" Lu Hanyu immediately gets down to demonstrate. "You guys, all of you get down." The ghouls immediately comply. "Like this. What's this for?" At this moment, Lu Hanyu is full of fighting spirit. Warm-up starts with push-ups. "Now do them with me, 100 push-ups." But 3 hours later, the ghouls look dead inside. 24, 74, 780. Lu Hanyu is full of fighting spirit, but the Old Ghoul King on the side interrupts him. Lord Hanyu, the ghouls have all perished." "Alright, I'll do 100 more. Then we'll eat. We've already done 700. And you want us to do 100 more? I can't anymore. It was better when we had our own kind as leader. Being able to do this much is already impressive. It's too much for us. Old Ghoul King, why don't you try challenging him again?" Hearing this, Lu Hanyu slowly stands up. "Good. You're all standing up." One ghoul says, "It should be over now, right? My whole body is about to fall apart." Another thinks, "We should go eat now." Before finishing the sentence, he's interrupted by Lu Hanyu's furious mysterious voice. It's because your mental state is so weak that people look down on you. When people look down on you, do you just pretend nothing's wrong? This is the wilderness. If you appear too weak, you'll die. Just keep living as cowards. When all your friends and family are dead, will you still just run away? If there's anyone like that, get out now. I won't allow such people to exist. I'll help those who stay build muscles and gain the ability to protect their loved ones. Who makes the best coach? Someone who knows the most about muscles, someone who's built the best physique. Anyone can do these things. Such people can use their knowledge to create remarkable results. But these people aren't the best coaches. The best coach makes those with no desire to exercise want to exercise. Push up with a do-or-die determination. With all your body's strength, push up your formerly cowardly self. Protect your parents. Your right hand is your father, your left hand is your mother. Push up. You can definitely do it. For your parents, for the revival of the tribe, for your new self, you must push up. And so, the ghouls' morale soars, and they have no more complaints. This is all thanks to Hanliu's proper training methods. The scene shifts to 3 months later. The ghoul village. Is it this direction? That's right, scouts have confirmed it. It's definitely this way. Look, we seem to be getting close. A lizardman suggests, let's organize our formation before we go. Are you brain damaged? Another lizardman sneers coldly. Fighting mere ghouls? What tactics do we need? Direct attack. Starting today, this will be the lizardmen's first colony. Not far away, the old ghoul king and Lu Hanyu watch this scene. Your Majesty, they're here. Looks like lizardmen. But what Lu Hanyu focuses on is, their skeletal muscles are really developed. Then he shouts, bench press team, chest out, breathe in, abs engaged, sphincter tight, aim at the enemy, now push. In an instant, more than half of the lizardmen below are killed or injured by rocks. They stare at this scene in horror. What is this? Who did this? Who could it be here? Lu Hanyu lets out a cold laugh. Of course it's the ghouls who've shed the title of weakest. The lizardman army encounters the ghouls' ambush. At this moment, the lizardman king watches the scene in shock. We attack openly and honestly, yet you ambush us. If this continues, total annihilation wouldn't be surprising. This is too despicable. Then he turns his gaze to Hanyu on the hillside. The only way to break this situation is to capture their leader. That extraordinary aura and powerful charisma radiating from that thing. His intuition tells him that thing must be the leader here. The next moment, he issues an aggressive challenge to the Ghoul King on the mountain. His booming voice successfully attracts the attention of Hanyu and his companion. The old Ghoul King glances sideways at Hanyu, wondering how he'll respond to the provocation. But Hanyu looks at the shouting lizardman below and falls into memories. Long ago, he once raised a monitor lizard. It was a rare species called a saltwater crocodile. It had a bite force exceeding 2 tons, and often played chase with Hanyu when he was free, drooling the whole time. However, even such a powerful bite force couldn't pierce through Hanyu's trained muscular arms. The rest of the story is better left unsaid. It's not suitable for children anyway, and he never saw that little troublemaker again after that. Suddenly, Hanyu has a flash of inspiration, and then he disappears from where he stands. He flies straight toward the lizardman below. The next moment, Hanyu flips the lizardman to the ground, suddenly bearing such tremendous force makes the lizardman vomit blood. Hanyu mounts the lizardman's body in a terrible position, then stares intensely at the lizardman beneath him. The lizardman struggles with all his might, but it's useless. Compared to Hanyu's strength, he's just a mascot. Pinned under Hanyu, he trembles, his struggles growing weaker, and the next moment he actually cries, saying he's willing to surrender and be a subordinate. Seeing this, Hanyu is delighted. Looks like what I learned from books was right after all. And so, the lizardmen's colonization plan goes up in smoke. Meanwhile, not far from Alimine Mountain, at White Dragon Kingdom Island. I didn't expect such a small country could cultivate such outstanding talents as you all. I'm very satisfied with the battle just now. After a pause, he continues, now I order you to execute a level 2 mission. Investigate the cockatrice's disappearance. Are you willing to execute it? Then the 3 figures before him answer in unison. After the 3 leave, the Count turns his gaze to the young man beside him. He asks in confusion, can we really entrust such an important mission to those common soldiers? The young man waves his hand, signaling the Count not to worry. Although those soldiers are young, they're renowned geniuses. Raphael excels at using gorgeous swordsmanship, toying with opponents at will. If we only look at technique, his irregular attacks are even better than mine, his master. The other, Handad, has bold swordsmanship. The greatsword he uses is like a blunt weapon, and combined with his monstrous strength, he can pulverize enemies into mincemeat. As long as these two combine their swords, they'll be invincible. The Count looks skeptical. Are they really that amazing? Then why don't you talk about the last one? The young man becomes hesitant. Compared to them, he's kind of like a mascot. The Count looks puzzled. Then why bring him along? The young man says, because the 3 of them have been inseparable since childhood, and those 2 geniuses make me very satisfied. The 3 soon arrive at Ali Mine Mountain. As soon as they enter Ali Mine Mountain, they're surrounded by a group of goblins. Handad immediately draws his sword ready to fight, and with a crack, one falls dead. Raphael shouts to Handad, prioritize protecting Bullock's safety. Handad immediately agrees, I won't let anyone touch a hair on his head. But right after saying this, he turns and charges into the goblin horde. This is somewhat confusing. Didn't you say you'd prioritize protecting me? Didn't you say you wouldn't let me lose a hair? Soon, the 2 finish off all the goblins. Raphael asks with concern, Bullock, are you hurt? Then he roars at Handad. Didn't you promise me you'd prioritize protecting Bullock? What if Bullock got hurt? Would you atone with your life? Bullock watches this scene from the side, his heart sinking. We three trained together, so why are they so strong while I'm so weak? For someone like me with no swordsmanship talent, what should I do to become stronger? Meanwhile, on the other side, the lizard men's wails rise and fall. I really can't anymore. Please, let me go. You can't take it already? So weak. Then Hanyu looks at everyone beside him. He says he can't take it. How can a man say he can't? Since you say you can't, we'll help you can. The next moment, the ghouls lift the lizardman in their hands again. Let's do 100 more decline push-ups. Time flies, and soon it's the day the lizardmen leave. All the ghouls give them warm hugs, saying they're welcome back anytime they want to train. Although goodbyes are always sad, the lizardmen now have relieved smiles on their faces. Then they turn and leave, just wanting to escape this dangerous place quickly. Even the ghouls on this mountain are packed with muscle. It's not a place for mascots like us. Hanli recalls using deload training to create ghoul athletes, which is incredible. When we exercise, muscle tissue gets damaged. During the muscle repair process, muscles also grow. But when central nervous system fatigue accumulates excessively, it affects training performance or increases injury risk. To prevent this and avoid excessive fatigue accumulation, we choose appropriate rest. This is deload training. When the ghouls trained this way until the 9th week, they also felt their strength progress slow down. Han Liu was going to say that if they reached the point of needing deload training, he'd give them a day off. But unexpectedly, today they could only do 563 reps, while yesterday they did 564. But the next day, something magical happened. The ghouls seemed to have grown taller and more muscular. Han Liu immediately activated Eagle Eye on the ghouls, which showed they had evolved into ghoul athletes. After the lizardmen leave, Hanyu says, hungry. He beckons the ghouls to go inside. At this moment, a ghoul steps forward to ask if they can hunt alone today. Just as Hanyu wonders if they're trying to escape, another ghoul speaks. Before this, we never won against chickens even once. The food we've been eating these days was all brought back by Lord Hanliu. But now I've ascended. I not only have abs but also pecs. This time I might be able to beat the chickens. Hearing this, Hanliu nods. So you want to prove yourselves? Then go ahead and try. Just then, the old ghoul king's muttering voice comes. Now that they're all ghoul athletes, do they have a chance of winning? Hanliu looks at him in confusion. Who do you want to beat? The old ghoul king immediately waves his hands frantically, saying he has absolutely no rebellious intentions. Just thinking now that they're all ghoul athletes, maybe they could even beat Lord Hanliu. Hearing this, Hanliu chuckles lightly, signaling the old ghoul king not to panic. The next moment, his palm exerts gentle force. In my eyes, you fitness beginners are all weaklings. You're welcome to challenge me anytime. Soon, the ghouls set out on their hunting journey. They pant heavily, unable to understand why a simple hunt has turned into weighted lunges. He looks back at Hanyu in confusion, about to ask, when he suddenly twists his toe and collapses to the ground in pain. Witnessing this, Han Liu shows little concern. Getting injured like this is all because you lack strong cartilage. He then gestures to nearby ghouls to help him up. Time quickly passes to deep night. Bullock practices swordplay alone. Earlier, Raphael and Handad kept apologizing for failing to protect him properly, even coming to blows, which troubles him greatly. It's all because I'm too weak, making them feel I can't protect myself. The next moment, Bullock clenches his teeth. I must train hard, at least become strong enough that they won't have to worry. He swings his longsword vigorously, with only one thought in mind, to become stronger. But the next moment, someone suddenly grabs his hand. Then Raphael's voice comes from behind. Grip tighter with your thumb. Imagine cutting through the wind as you swing. Bullock turns back awkwardly. Did I wake you up? Raphael shakes his head. Of course not, idiot. The next moment, he pinches Bullock's cheek. I also want my precious friend to become stronger, so even though you always practice secretly at night, I've been pretending not to notice. Then he looks at Bullock with curiosity. Are you blushing? Bullock immediately shakes his head. I was just practicing too hard earlier. The next moment, Raphael bursts into laughter. Bullock can't understand what he's laughing about. Just then, an abrupt voice interrupts the warm moment. What are you two doing here behind my back? Seeing the newcomer, Bullock cries out in surprise. It's Handad, he immediately explains. We weren't doing anything. I was just practicing by myself. And then, but before he can finish, Raphael's finger covers his lips. Raphael looks at Handad with displeasure. You, who nearly let Bullock get hurt, how dare you show your face here? Hearing this, Handad's fury rises, and he says through gritted teeth, it's already late. If you don't rest soon, your body's reflexes will slow down tomorrow. You need to let Bullock sleep during skin repair time, so his skin can stay smooth and supple. Just as Bullock prepares to ask what about my skin, Raphael's finger presses his lips again. I did overlook that. He then looks at Bullock, signaling that practice ends here for today and it's time to sleep. Bullock asks them with confusion, why are you arguing about when I should sleep? Raphael winks playfully, because we're good brothers. Just then, violent tremors suddenly shake the surroundings. The next moment, a lizard man runs out from the forest, charging toward them. Then, a group of lizard men also emerge from the forest. Seeing this, the three are shocked and immediately draw their swords to fight, but the lizard men don't even raise their hands against their attacks. running straight past them. "Don't worry about them, we still have those things behind us." Just then, a series of clucking sounds reaches everyone's ears. It turns out the lizard men are fleeing in panic, chased by a flock of chickens. But behind the chicken flock, there's another group. "Protein, protein, protein," they chant in unison. Looking at the chicken flock before them, they let out evil laughter. "All the protein is mine." Thus, without Hanyu himself knowing, a new food chain pyramid is quietly forming. Not long ago, they were just a bunch of weaklings. Now they look at the chicken flock before them with troubled expressions. Hanyu can't help but ask with concern, "Are you sure you can handle this? After all, their pectorals look much bigger than yours." Immediately, a ghoul jumps out. "Those are all dead muscles." Hearing this, Hanyu becomes furious. "Watch your manners, we must respect everyone who loves fitness." Just then, a chicken waddles toward a worm. The next moment, its aura, no longer concealed, bursts forth. Two trees, unable to withstand its power, shatter with a crash. The next instant, it pecks the worm into its mouth. This scene leaves the ghouls dumbstruck. They just said those were dead muscles, truly like frogs in a well. Seeing this, he hesitates no more and stands up. "I want pectorals that perfect too." Then he walks toward the two trees behind him, his face full of determination. The next moment, he exerts all his might, veins bulging on his forehead. But the two trees don't budge at all, making everyone shake their heads. Finally, he drops his arms with a sigh. "Just let me rest a bit." Then another ghoul steps forward to try, but even using all his strength, he only makes the tree sway slightly. They still stand firm. Seeing this, Hanyu waves him back. I can't figure out why they can't even uproot a tree. As Hanyu ponders what's still lacking, his gaze is drawn to the chickens nearby. The chicken flock is rubbing their small wings against each other. They're competing in arm strength, all exerting their full might. Seeing this, Hanyu has a flash of insight and is shocked. Because the ghoul's training results kept improving, Hanyu overlooked this point. Hanyu immediately apologizes. "It's all because of my oversight that they can do things you can't." Hearing this, the ghoul thinks his posture is wrong. Hanyu immediately interrupts. "That's not the problem. It's because your muscles have adapted to my training routine." Hearing this, all the ghouls look up in surprise. "Really? Then what should we do now? What else can we do?" Hanyu shakes his head. "Change the training routine starting now, of course." Then he beckons everyone with a bright smile to line up in 5 rows. Soon, the ghouls finish assembling. Hanyu points behind him. "This behind me is the cable machine. To add variation to the routine you've gotten used to, I specially made this equipment for you. Now give 3 rounds of applause to reward your teacher's efforts." The next moment, enthusiastic applause erupts from the ghouls. Hanyu then begins explaining. "From now on, to train your inner pectoral muscles, we'll start cable chest flies. If you can master this movement, you'll have pectorals that surpass the chickens." Hearing this, the ghouls instantly get excited. "We want pectorals as perfect as the chickens too, worthy of being our boss, always solving our problems perfectly." Seeing this, Hanyu shows a smile. "Nothing makes me happier than teaching fitness beginners." Cable chest fly is an exercise that effectively stimulates the inner chest muscles, making the chest more defined. But the movement needs to be done properly to be effective, which is somewhat difficult for fitness beginners. So Hanyu must teach step by step. Step 1. Lean your upper body forward, knees slightly bent. Step 2. Arms slightly bent, feet firmly planted, to maintain torso stability during the movement. Step 3. After pulling the cables toward the center, push your chest out slightly. With smooth force, make a motion like a bird flapping its wings, gathering strength forward, crossing in front. Step 4. During training, you can adjust the cable height and bending angle to train different small muscle groups. But remember, don't let your center of gravity be pulled by the cables. Core and torso must stay stable. Those are all the steps. Hanyu looks at the ghouls. "If you don't understand any details, ask me." Then he points to the fitness equipment behind him. The ghouls burst into cheers. "Everyone move, I'm going first. No cutting in line. Stop pushing me. Today I'm building explosive pectorals." Watching this, Hanyu shows a gratified smile. Teaching fitness beginners is truly delightful. Soon, several days pass. Since listening to Master Hanyu's words, the ghouls are all smiles. Now they too have impressive pectorals. This sight makes the neighboring chicken flock's hearts race. There are actually pectorals more perfect than ours in this world. Intense jealousy makes them lose themselves. The next moment, golden light emanates from their bodies. This scene shocks Hanyu greatly. The golden light gradually fades. Even more perfect chickens appear before everyone. Watching this, Hanyu can't help but exclaim, "Haven't these chickens' pectorals gotten even bigger?" But the ghouls can no longer hold back and charge forward. The chicken flock also charges forward, determined to defend their territory. In an instant, the two groups clash. But even with such perfect pectorals, the ghouls are no match for the chickens. Hanyu immediately uses his appraisal on the chicken flock. Unexpectedly, these chickens, while their pectorals grew, also evolved themselves, becoming combat chickens. To prevent these chickens from evolving into combat chickens, one must be careful not to let their pectorals get too big. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Ghoul King just woke up, stretches, and sighs that the weather is nice, though he looks bored. It's actually not the case. He has never felt so happy and free. Just then, his stomach rumbles. Everything's been great since Hanyu became the boss, except the eating habits don't quite match the ghouls the old Ghoul King specially prepared. The old Ghoul King's daily menu. Today's menu: fried chicken skin. Ingredients needed: prepared chicken skin, grain flour, fragrant dried fruit powder, salt, and oil. First, cut the chicken skin. Frying it directly will have a fishy smell, so add salt and new spices, then knead it thoroughly. Next, add the new spices into the grain flour and mix evenly. After preparing the magic powder, sprinkle the magic powder on the chicken skin. Maybe after sprinkling magic like this, I can surpass Master Hanliu. Finally, place the chicken skin in the heated oil. Once fried to golden brown, take it out, and the steaming hot fried chicken skin is complete. This dish is my pride and joy. Meanwhile, on the other side, the ghouls are quickly defeated across the board. They look incredulous. We've already trained the deep inner muscles according to Master Hanliu's instructions. Why can't we still beat the chickens? Is there a problem with the training method? Or did the viewing angle during training affect our movements? Just then, a loud shout interrupts them. You're both wrong. There must be some fundamental problem we need to fix. Just then, Hanliu walks over. Does none of you know the reason? The effort you've put in, the duration and intensity of your training all fall far short of the chickens. Just working out crazily for a few days, did you really think you could surpass the lifetime of effort they've invested? Hearing this, the ghouls lower their heads in shame. It seems those impressive pectorals weren't built in just a day or two. But it's not completely hopeless. Hanliu's voice sounds again. The ghouls look at Hanliu in surprise. You mean we still have a chance? Of course. Think about how you got here. Hearing this, the ghouls begin to recall. Slow down the eccentric movement more. Keep the pace consistent. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Tired, right? Hanliu asks, looking at a ghoul beside him. The questioned ghoul jumps in fright and hastily waves his hands, saying he's not tired at all. You youngster, you're clearly exhausted. Seems your willpower has gotten stronger too. Regardless, we must seize the time to train like this. Only by becoming stronger can we shed the title of weakest, right? Back on Earth, I was the lightest person among those who could lift 500 kilograms. Even so, you still need to master the basics to demonstrate your strength. So no matter how tired, you must persevere. Thus, the ghouls burst with intense fighting spirit and complain no more. Recalling all this, the ghoul gradually rises. I can feel it. Power continuously surging up from the depths. Seeing this, Hanliu shows a smile. Seems you finally understand. Though your pectorals can't beat theirs, what if you add strong glutes and legs? The next moment, the ghoul charges at the chicken flock. His speed is incredible, covering over 10 meters in an instant burst. Seeing this, Hanliu also smiles. Seems the training has paid off. Now show everyone your hard work and passion. Hearing this, the ghouls fill with fighting spirit and charge toward the chicken flock. Seeing this, the chicken flock is furious, determined to defend their territory. The next moment, it flaps its wings, and the ghouls go flying into the sky. Seeing this, Hanliu shows confusion. Then he realizes, earlier everyone lunged here. Their legs must have lost all strength long ago. Hearing this, the ghouls dare not voice their anger. Why mention something this important so late? Then Hanliu turns his gaze to the chicken flock before him. The chicken flock now notices this man. His entire body radiates an aura of, I'm a weakling. The next moment, the chicken's eyes emit a dangerous aura. A group of chickens charges at Hanliu. Seeing this, Hanliu is surprised. Today's food actually comes to me on its own. The next moment, he slowly extends his hand. The leader chicken, caught by Hanliu, falls into memories. It remembers itself just hatched, seeing the world for the first time. It remembers itself growing strong in its mother's embrace. It remembers itself standing on its own after growing up. It remembers itself fighting desperately for the position of king. It remembers itself finally becoming the chicken king. It remembers itself seeing that man for the first time. It remembers itself caught in that man's hand. It remembers itself now lying in a hot pot. At this moment, Hanliu stands before a large pot, comforting everyone. Don't blame yourselves too much. As the saying goes, failure is the mother of success. Today, everyone should replenish your protein well. Tomorrow, you'll catch them yourselves. Then Hanliu raises the chicken breast in his hand. For muscles, let's all work hard together. Instantly, the camp erupts with a unified chant. Muscles, muscles, muscles. Early this morning, Hanliu instructed that today the ghouls would hunt alone. After reminding them to be careful, he continues training. But it's unsatisfactory. This resistance bands resistance is enough for the ghouls, but for Hanliu, it's still too light. Thus, he can't help but miss the old ghoul king. If only he could use his skill to double the gravity right now. Had I known, I should have brought him along. Learning they'll hunt alone today, the ghouls quickly finish assembling, though their bodies now have a good chance of beating the chickens. If the chickens suddenly evolve like yesterday, it's hard to say. To be safe, the ghouls will split into 3 groups to attack. If they encounter danger, they'll use their pectorals to transmit signals. Hearing this, the ghouls immediately offer praise. To think of using pectorals to transmit signals, you're a genius. Having arranged everything, the ghouls begin running toward the chicken flock. Today will be their first battle to shed the title of weakest. Meanwhile, the trio arrives at the location where Hanliu defeated the cockatrice. But before them is only a huge skeleton, with no skull visible, leaving Handad puzzled. Was the head shattered in one blow by some powerful magic? Hearing this, Bullock worries greatly. If someone can use that kind of magic, is this something we can get involved in? Hearing this, the two immediately step forward to comfort Bullock. We won't let you get hurt. Just then, violent tremors sound. The three turn back in alarm. Instinct tells them something bad is approaching. Both tacitly shield Bullock behind them, preparing to fight. The next moment, a flock of chickens bursts out from the woods. Seeing this, Handad breathes a sigh of relief. Just chickens, a piece of cake. But the next moment, he's startled. Dozens of ghouls bound out right behind them. The hunting ghouls also spot Handad before them, frozen in place, wondering why there are humans here. But the ghouls suddenly appearing make the trio's hair stand on end, facing a great enemy. Because the three have never seen this kind of monster before, they immediately shield Bullock tightly behind them, watching the ghouls before them with vigilance. Seeing humans here, the ghoul waves his hand, signaling his brothers behind to hold on. These humans don't look easy to mess with. Let's wait on the side and see what happens first. The next moment, his pectorals begin vibrating intensely. This sight leaves the trio puzzled. What kind of trick is this? Little do they know, the ghoul is just using their signal to call the other two groups over. But when the ghoul just used his pectorals to resonate with his companions, such perfect, moving pectorals were fully witnessed by the chickens nearby. Their eyes flash with intense jealousy. The next moment, golden light blazes, and the chickens evolve into combat chickens again. The trio is shocked on the side. These are actually the legendary combat chickens. I heard their combat power rivals a two-headed dragon. Having completed their evolution, the combat chickens no longer flee, turning back to charge at the ghouls who are chasing them, determined to compare pectorals. The ghoul squad watches this scene, breaking into a cold sweat. Just as they wonder if they'll fail this time, two ghouls suddenly leap out from the bushes behind them. It turns out to be the second and third squad leaders of the ghoul team, who now also lead the other two squads here. Immediately, they prepare to battle the chicken flock before them. Now is the time to use this move. This move was learned from Master Hanliu, the ghoul athlete bodybuilding secret, supreme bench press formation. Using this move, you don't need to worry about the back, just move forward. At this moment, even the deepest muscle fibers are exerting their full strength. At this moment, the ghouls burst with infinite combat power, determined to make the chicken flock feel the power of pectoral resonance. For a moment, the chicken flock crumbles, getting crushed by the ghoul group. A ghoul seeing this shows a smile. At this rate, will surely earn Master Hanliu's respect. But then he discovers a problem. Everyone is using this move, but no one is spotting me. At this moment, his heart fills with sorrow. But the next moment, his face shows a smile. Though I can't find anyone to spot me, I'm still grateful for everyone's care during this time. I'll meet my doom first. The ghoul preparing to die heroically shouts, but it's useless. But just then, someone no one expected appears behind him. 0.3 seconds. This is the time humans need to judge whether they like or dislike someone upon meeting them. From their first meeting until now, 480 to 6 seconds. This is the time the trio took to fully feel the deep resonance from the ghoul athlete's pectorals. But unfortunately, this resonance also transmits to the combat chickens. Several people are shocked looking at the combat chicken before them. Its size is no exaggeration to say it's even bigger than a dragon. Especially this dragon-sized enemy, staring at him with ill intent. Legend says the world's first dragon appeared in ancient times. The dragon was obsessed with reputation, and to prevent descendants from surpassing him, he made an extreme choice. That was to split his power in two, forming what we now see as the dragon race and chicken race. Yet Handad now looks at the chicken king before him, eager to try. Though it's not a real dragon, if I defeat it, even my master will acknowledge me. The next moment, he raises his sword and slashes at the chicken king. Die, chicken king! Meanwhile, on Hanliu's side, he's unsatisfied with his training results. Though his pectorals have grown a bit from this period of training, compared to the ghoul athlete's growth, it's nothing. Thinking of the ghoul athletes, a smile appears on his lips. Fitness beginners are truly earnest and adorable. He has now been here for over 3 months. Thinking back to the beginning, they would only cry and whine. Every action required his step-by-step guidance. Of course, some ghouls thought about giving up, but all persevered with willpower until now, and in the end, not a single ghoul left. It's those youngsters who got stronger. So why am I so happy? Hanliu is somewhat puzzled. Perhaps this is what being a teacher feels like. Then he thinks of his own master. I wonder how my master is doing now. Thinking of this, Hanliu suddenly realizes something. My master seems to have disappeared at my age too. Instantly, a bad thought rings in his mind. Could it be? But his thoughts are interrupted by a ghoul hurrying over. Hanliu looks at him with confusion. The ghoul is still panting, heavily, but doesn't dare stop for a moment and tells Hanliu everything. It turns out another group of chickens has evolved into combat chickens. Hanliu knows well that combat chickens aren't something the current ghouls can handle, and immediately asks where the ghoul group is. After learning the location, Hanliu immediately prepares to use his full power. At this moment, the system's voice sounds. Warning! Combat exclusive lean physique status energy overload detected. Release combat exclusive lean physique. At this moment, Hanliu's face is already full of fury. How dare they touch my kids? The next moment, he chooses to release it. The moment the power releases, the ground where Hanliu stands cracks and collapses. At this moment, his aura no longer concealed, bursts forth, and the air itself stagnates. The next moment, his legs bend slightly, the muscles in his legs and glutes bulge. Then he leaps lightly, soaring straight into the sky. This scene leaves the ghoul stunned, worthy of Master Hanliu. Meanwhile, on the ghoul group's side, the trio is engaged in fierce battle with the combat chicken. Facing such a powerful enemy, even though they're hailed as geniuses, they must be careful. Raphael immediately commands Handad, prioritize attracting the combat chicken's attention, leave the offense to me. Hearing this, Handad immediately roars. Then he thrusts his greatsword into the ground. The next moment, he forcefully pushes the sword forward, unleashing the long-lost secret technique Dust Cloud. After doing all this, he doesn't forget to shout at Bullock, telling him to retreat quickly. Hearing this, Bullock's heart instantly fills with warmth, but he still urgently tells him to support Raphael and not worry about him. When Hondad turns back, he just sees Raphael getting swatted away by the combat chicken. Though his body is falling rapidly through the air, he still gives Hondad a thumbs up. Well done. Watching this, Bullock looks helpless. Stop protecting me. Use your full strength to fight. Raphael's raised thumb trembles slightly. Seems Bullock felt our sincere efforts. But Hondad still calls for Bullock to escape quickly. After such a long battle, both know this thing isn't something they can defeat. But Bullock looks at the chicken right before him. It's too late to escape now. It's too early to give up. A ghoul's voice sounds from the side. Behold our ghoul bodybuilding secret ultimate technique. Supreme Support Formation. The massive formation immediately attracts the combat chicken's attention. The ghoul captain, seeing this, clenches his teeth. We must at least hold out until Master Hanyu arrives. As long as we hold until Master Hanyu arrives, we'll be saved. We must hold on. The next moment, the combat chicken's giant claw strikes. The ghoul's ultimate technique directly collapses. For a moment, all the ghouls lie on the ground in pain. Physical pain is secondary. More important is the mental anguish. Even after months of training, facing a chicken, we're still so powerless. Looking at the combat chicken's figure before him, the captain seems to have foreseen his death. But just as the combat chicken prepares to deliver a fatal blow to the ghouls before it, a beam of light suddenly blazes in the sky. The next moment, it crashes heavily to the ground, killing a combat chicken on the spot. Seeing this, the ghouls are both shocked and delighted. It must be Master Hanyu. We're saved. The figure in the dust gradually emerges, but it's the old ghoul king's figure. The ghouls are stunned on the spot. Where's Master Hanyu? Why is the old ghoul king here? Meanwhile, on the other side, Hanyu, whom all the ghouls are thinking of, stands in a crater depressed. I jumped to the wrong place. In a blink, the old ghoul king is also surrounded by the chicken flock. Seeing this, he's not panicked at all, instead sighing at the ghouls. I can't believe after training so long, you still can't beat chickens. I'm disappointed in you. Truly disappointed. The ghoul king's sudden appearance also shocks the trio. Though he doesn't have muscles as exaggerated as other ghouls, his aura is incredibly powerful. As the trio wonders, a small ghoul nearby comes over to explain. He's the second strongest in our village, the old ghoul king. At this moment, the chicken flock stares with puzzled faces at the old ghoul king below them. What are you looking at? The old ghoul king sneers. You think staring at me like that will scare me? I came here after careful consideration. Hearing this, the ghouls immediately get excited. Worthy of the old ghoul king, so much smarter than us. Hurry and crush those detestable guys. Hearing everyone's praise, the old ghoul king is quite pleased. Then he shouts toward the sky. I've angered these guys. Please come out and eliminate them. Master Hanyu, come out. But no matter how he shouts, only air responds. This awkward scene makes everyone unable to watch. The old ghoul king, getting no response, is terrified. Where on earth is Master Hanyu? Just 5 minutes ago, he heard the ghoul's screams. The ghoul king was immediately alarmed. How dare they touch mine and Master Hanyu's subordinates? They deserve death. Then he walks toward a rock nearby. Mine and Master Hanyu's subordinates, only we can bully them. Though the old ghoul king didn't participate in bodybuilding training like other ghouls, his status hasn't diminished at all. So how exactly did he maintain it? Is it because his strength is greater than trained ghoul athletes? Of course not. Is it because the survival of the fittest values changed? Of course not either. There's only one reason. To adjust the weight set by Hanyu, the old ghoul king had to continuously activate his skill. Unknowingly, he trained his heavy shield skill to the highest level, becoming even stronger. He immediately activates his skill heavy shield 1/10. The massive rock is lifted by him like a feather. The next moment, he hurls the rock toward the distant chicken flock. You stinking chickens! How dare you bully mine and Master Hanliu's subordinates? Die! Then he activates 10 times heavy shield on the airborne rock. The rock that was floating lightly in the air suddenly plummets rapidly. Then, with a thunderous crash, it hits the ground, killing a chicken instantly. Time returns to the present. The old ghoul king trembles, watching the scene before him. Looks like I'll meet my doom today. Just then, the ghoul's conversation behind him interrupts his thoughts. At least the old ghoul king defeated a chicken with one move. Doesn't that make him as amazing as Master Hanliu? Hearing this, the old ghoul king instantly feels confident again. Just as they said, not everyone can defeat a combat chicken with one move, and I was destined to become the ghoul king from birth. I was born with skills those ordinary folks can't even dream of. Thinking this, he's suddenly filled with confidence, and the next moment actually provokes the combat chicken. But the combat chicken merely flaps its wings slightly, and he transforms into a beam of light, disappearing into the sky. The ghoul group watches the old ghoul king disappear into the sky like a shooting star, breaking into cold sweat. Looks like we're really done for this time. The next moment, they rally their spirits. Even if we die, we'll die standing. Then his pectorals vibrate intensely, transmitting information to surrounding ghouls. Instantly, countless ghouls respond. The next moment, countless ghouls charge at the chicken flock. Even though the chicken flock before them radiates a dangerous aura, they show no fear whatsoever. Though the time was brief, we truly tasted what it's like to be strong. If there's an afterlife, please train us again, Master Hanliu. Meanwhile, on the other side, the old ghoul king, swatted away by the chicken, lands in front of Hanyu. Seeing Hanyu, the old ghoul king immediately tells him what happened. Hearing this, Hanyu's face remains calm, but his heart is already filled with fury. His pectorals suddenly vibrate intensely. Even the unshakable composure skill can no longer suppress Hanyu's emotions. He directly cancels the unshakable composure skill. At this moment, the ghouls are engaged in fierce battle with the chickens, but the chicken flock suddenly ignores them and runs straight into the distance. This scene leaves the ghouls baffled. Where are they going? At this moment, violent tremors suddenly sound on Hanyu's side. The next moment, countless chickens surround him, all staring at Hanyu with ill intent, and Hanyu now looks at the chickens before him, eyes full of fury. Just moments ago, after the combat chickens ran into the distance, the ghouls immediately prepared to follow. The frequency of this pectoral vibration tells them Master Hanyu must have arrived. Bullock is puzzled. What Master Hanyu? The captain immediately comes over to explain. He's our master and our captain. His muscle definition is more distinct than anyone's, and our new ghoul king is Master Hanyu. At this moment, on Hanyu's side, the combat chickens all stare intensely at Hanyu's pectorals. The next moment, they launch their attack. Such perfect pectorals can only belong on my body. But with just a light tap from Hanyu, the chicken's body caves in, and the next second it shoots straight into the sky. The chicken flock gasps in shock. Such incredibly powerful pectorals. The next moment, their gazes burn even hotter, as if they've already claimed Hanyu's 2 pectoral muscles. Immediately, their massive bodies vanish from their positions and appear in midair the next moment. Then their bodies start spinning violently. They're executing a fusion technique. The next moment, both of their giant claws stomp down on Hanyu simultaneously. Hanyu gets stomped directly into the ground by the 2 chickens. Did we succeed? The 2 chickens look down with uncertainty. But the next moment they're shocked. Their 2 giant claws are being lifted up by Hanyu's sheer strength. At this moment, the chickens break into cold sweat. What kind of divine strength is this? Just as Hanyu is about to burst out from the ground, the combat chicken suddenly roars with a thunderous voice. The next moment, several more chickens extend their giant claws. Hanyu gets pressed back down underground by the chickens. Just when all the chickens think they've succeeded, suddenly an explosion erupts. Hanyu bursts out directly, charging toward one of the chickens. The next moment, his foot delivers a light kick, and the chicken collapses to the ground. The remaining chickens are shocked. This human's pectorals are beyond our reach. At this moment, Hanyu's voice drifts over. So the chicken tribe grows their muscles through pectoral vibrations, which is why Hanyu used their own trick against them, attracting the chicken flock's attention with pectoral vibrations. Hearing this, the chicken flock instantly breaks into sweat. At this moment, they regret deeply. This man doesn't just have muscles, he has such deep cunning. But Hanyu doesn't want to waste more words with them. He leaps into the air, and his fist slams hard into one chicken's skull. Instantly, that chicken collapses to the ground. At this moment, the muscles on Hanyu's body begin to swell dramatically. The next moment, he brings his hands together and swings forward, and countless chickens shoot straight into the sky, then fall to the ground one after another. The chickens now look at the man before them with eyes full of fear. If they could do it over, they definitely wouldn't provoke this man again. At this moment, Hanyu suddenly lifts a nearby tree. The next moment, he leaps into the air, performs multiple aerial spins, then executes his ultimate technique in mid-air, overhead tricep extension, and slams the wooden log hard into the chicken flock. Instantly, another chicken falls to the ground, unconscious. This scene is witnessed by the arriving ghouls. At this moment, their faces are filled with shock. Even dragon-like magical beasts tremble before him. Could he be a demi-human beast? Hanyu's battle isn't over yet, but his mind races with anxiety. Earlier, to get here quickly, I used super jump, and now my lower body is gradually losing strength. But if I give up here, I won't be able to face the old ghoul king who adjusts my weights. At this point, I can only go all out and take down all the chickens. Looks like I'll have to use that technique. Immediately, he commands the fitness god to release all restrictions. Then he roars, bench press. 1, 2, N. Warning, lower limbs can no longer support upper body muscle mass. Please immediately isolate the upper body. Muscles are about to tear. Please immediately isolate the upper body. Just as Hanyu's muscles are about to collapse, countless hands suddenly support Hanyu's broad back muscles. Hanyu turns back in surprise to see the ghouls have all arrived without him noticing. At this moment, they look at Hanyu with smiles. Master Hanyu has always helped us. This time, let us help Master Hanyu. At this moment, Hanyu smiles. Let's show the chickens the power of master and disciples united. The next moment, Hanyu swings his hands forward, and the chickens instantly collapse to the ground. After dealing with the chickens, everyone collapses exhausted on the ground, except Hanyu, whose face beams with satisfaction because today's workout has pleased him greatly. At this moment, Hanyu's face fills with a smile. We've avenged you, old ghoul king. You can rest in peace now. Hearing this, the nearby ghouls start whispering among themselves. Now that you mention it, before Master Hanyu came, he was pretty harsh on us. After pledging allegiance, he wasn't bad though. Last time he even helped me cook chicken, right? We brothers should take good care of his wife and daughter from now on. Before the discussion ends, Hanyu suddenly frowns. If the old ghoul king is gone, who'll help me adjust my training weights? His gaze sweeps over and lands on the ghouls chatting enthusiastically. But those who were just chatting away instantly turn around trembling, acting like I can't hear anything. You ungrateful bunch! Hanyu grits his teeth. Just wait till we get back. I'll put you through intense training. At this moment, a figure plops down beside him. Hanyu is immediately puzzled. Can ghouls become ghosts after they die? The old ghoul king scratches his head awkwardly. I'm not dead yet. Since I left everything to Master Hanyu anyway, I just took a nap. These words make everyone instantly ecstatic. They launch themselves themselves at the old ghoul king like cannonballs, and the next second they pile on top of him, making him howl in pain. Hanliu can't help but smile. Looks like I don't need to worry about my weight adjuster anymore. The scene shifts to White Dragon Kingdom Island. The trio has reported everything they witnessed at the front line to the Count without missing a single detail. After listening, the Count's brows furrow tightly. Those ghouls aren't much to worry about, but that demi-human can defeat combat chickens single-handedly. There are other races eyeing our territory. This is troublesome. He sighs heavily. I need to think carefully about how to deal with that guy. The young general beside him asks with confusion, "Where's Bullock? Aren't you three so close you'd share diapers?" This instantly hits their sore spot. Tears stream down their faces as they sob pitifully. Bullock was taken by that demi-human. It turns out that earlier, Hanliu saw at a glance that Bullock had great potential for fitness and insisted on taking him. Naturally, the two refused and immediately attacked Hanliu. Their attacks were like children's punches compared to Hanliu. Handad's prized greatsword was easily caught by Hanliu without even turning his head. We couldn't beat him. We could only watch helplessly as Bullock went with him. Thinking of this injustice, the two cry even harder. "Master, you must rescue Bullock from that monster." The Count turns his head with suspicion. "Dear niece, though I know little, I've heard this is a type of dark magic. The warrior is indeed pitiful, but we can't easily start a war." He then looks at the general. "Your master isn't someone who'd be swayed by personal feelings," but as soon as he finishes speaking, a thunderous boom erupts, and the general's aura surges, her gaze sharp as a blade. She grits her teeth. "They dare to provoke me?" The Count asks weakly, "How did they provoke you?" "Provoking my disciples is provoking me," the general states firmly. "Provoking me means crossing the line." The Count stands there bewildered, silently withdrawing his hand. The general says no more, and turns to call the two toward Ali Mine Mountain. "Today we must restore discipline at Ali Mine Mountain." Meanwhile, at the Ghoul training ground, Hanliu prepares to start a new day of training. With Bullock as a new member, the first lesson begins with squats. Bullock looks confused. "What's a squat?" Hanliu's face immediately fills with a kind smile. "It's fine if you don't know. Come here, I'll teach you. Squats are the foundation for stabilizing loaded weight and the best exercise for strengthening the quadriceps." He places his hand on Bullock's shoulder. "Now try squatting down." Bullock squats down shakily, looking puzzled. "What's the point of this?" "It's simple. Squat down and stand up," Hanliu explains patiently. "We'll be holding weight while doing this movement, so posture must be stable to avoid injury. Spread your feet hip-width apart. Align your knees with your toes. Use your hip joints and knees to squat down. Then push with your glutes and thighs to rise away from the ground." Bullock follows the instructions. Hanliu immediately gives a thumbs up. "For your first time, this is already very good. What have you trained before?" Bullock replies shyly. "Just learned a bit of swordsmanship." "Then try squatting once more," Hanliu says, picking up the barbell in front of him. "Hold tight, maintain tension. This thing isn't light." As soon as Bullock nods, the barbell presses down on his shoulders. The weight feels like a small mountain, instantly draining the color from his face, almost making him collapse. "Keep your form. Stand up slowly." Hanliu's voice rings out in time. Bullock clenches his teeth, his face flushing red, using every ounce of strength to force himself to stand. Seeing this, Hanliu immediately takes the barbell. The surrounding ghouls burst into enthusiastic cheers and applause, as expected from someone who trained in swordsmanship, much stronger than us. Hanliu looks at Bullock with satisfaction in his eyes. His strength had clearly reached its limit just now, yet he still maintained his form. He really is excellent material for fitness. My eye for talent is indeed accurate. Then he looks at Bullock and asks, "You're training with me because you want to become as capable as your friends, right?" Bullock's eyes burn with passion. "I want to become as strong as them too." But Hanliu sighs gently. "Unfortunately, you can't become like them." The light in Bullock's eyes instantly dims, his tone becoming dejected. "So everyone thinks this way? I know too, someone ordinary like me can never catch up to those geniuses no matter how hard I try. Still, thank you for being willing to train me." But before he finishes speaking, Hanliu interrupts. "What I mean is, you'll become stronger in a different field. So strong you won't envy their achievements. In my eyes, you have the finest talent." Bullock's head snaps up, his eyes instantly filling with tears. And the next second, he actually cries out, You're the first person besides my friends to recognize me." Hanliu pats his shoulder. "Stop crying. If you keep crying, you'll lose muscle mass." Thus, without Hanliu even knowing, his eagle eye skill quietly advances to level 3. Early the next morning, Hanliu brings over a bunch of chicken chicks. His explanation? "We can't rely on hunting forever. The chicken breast on this mountain will run out eventually. While food isn't scarce yet, let's try being self-sufficient." The old ghoul king looks at the chirping chicks with worry all over his face. Chickens grow fast and aren't hard to raise, but few monsters in Ali Mine Mountain can beat them. Right now, we're slightly stronger than them. But if they evolve someday, no one except Master Hanliu can keep them in check. Can't do it? Hanliu's gaze instantly turns cold, staring him down. The old ghoul king swallows, his heart pounding. Should I be able to do it? But seeing Hanliu's expression that says, "Say no and you're dead," he still answers tremblingly, I can do it." "That's right." Hanliu immediately laughs. "I almost couldn't resist taking you out just now." Soon, training shouts ring out again in the training ground. Everyone gathers around the barbell, concentrating on feeling the quadriceps engage. The old ghoul king assists Bullock from the side, using his skill to adjust the weight. Watching this scene, Hanliu's face fills with contentment. Teaching fitness beginners is truly a joyful thing. Suddenly, a thunderous boom shatters the training ground's peace. The explosive explosive shockwave sends the nearby ghouls tumbling everywhere, leaving them stunned. Lifting barbells can cause explosions. The old ghoul king looks equally bewildered. Never heard of that. At this moment, a figure walks up to the old ghoul king, eyes cold as they stare at him. Are you the monster who inexplicably stole my disciple? The old ghoul king breaks into a cold sweat, frantically waving his hands. It's a misunderstanding. All misunderstanding. And I'm the one whose position was taken. Enough talk. The general impatiently cuts him off. Just answer yes or no. Before she finishes speaking, her long sword slashes toward the old ghoul king with a sharp whistle. With a bang, dust fills the air. Where the old ghoul king stood is now carved with a deep trench. But instead of satisfaction, the general's face fills with shock because her sword has been blocked by a single hand. Hanyu blocks the blade with one arm, his expression dark. Even dogs wouldn't dare interrupt my training. You've got some nerve. Both their minds surge with shock. The general is stunned that this demi-human can block her sword with his bare flesh. Hanyu stares at the slight blood seeping from his arm, secretly alarmed. This old lady has some skill. She actually made me bleed. As the two remain locked in confrontation, two excited voices sound from behind the general. Bullock, Raphael, and Handad see Bullock in the distance, and tears instantly flow down their faces. During these days without Bullock, they couldn't taste food or sleep at night. Every day felt like a year. The general turns to look at Bullock, then at Hanyu, and quickly explains the whole situation. Hanyu raises an eyebrow at Bullock. She's really your master? Bullock stammers, unable to form a complete sentence for a while. I just feel that you feel fitness is more interesting than swordsmanship, right? Hanyu interrupts him. Just tell the truth. What's so hard to say? Bullock takes a deep breath, as if making up his mind. He bows deeply to the general. Master, I'm sorry. Right now, I prefer fitness to swordsmanship. I'm truly sorry for making you come all this way, but I have a new master now. The general listens calmly, but suddenly a smile curves her lips. The next moment, her aura surges again. Since my disciple has made the wrong decision, naturally as his master I must help him correct it. The next moment, she flashes forward, executing her ultimate technique, Monk's sword draw. Hanliu's gaze sharpens. He immediately switches to bodybuilding pose, muscles instantly swelling with blood, veins bulging on his arms. The next moment, the general's longsword slashes hard into his arm. Despite landing her strike, the general's pupils constrict. Because the sword that struck Hanliu's arm only left a scratch, such a powerful body exists in this world. She turns to look at Bullock. Is this the kind of body you want to forge? Bullock nods vigorously, his eyes full of longing. A body like this is so cool. The general sighs helplessly and looks at Hanyu. In that case, I'll compete with you. Whoever wins will prove their training method is superior and earn the right to take Bullock. But Hanyu shakes his head in refusal. Lady, you don't understand. Fitness isn't a martial art. It's a way to challenge yourself and cultivate character. The general scoffs. By that logic, isn't fitness just a useless training method? This sentence instantly ignites Hanliu's fury. The general waves dismissively. What good is just challenging yourself? Frankly speaking, fitness is garbage, isn't it? The moment the general finishes speaking, a blinding light suddenly erupts from within Hanyu, illuminating the entire training ground. From the light, an increasingly tall and muscular figure slowly emerges, muscle definition sharp as carved by a blade, every inch of skin filled with explosive power. The surrounding pressure making everyone present hold their breath. Hanliu's eyes are now sharp as an eagle's as he looks at the general. Now let me show you what true fitness really is. Combat mode activated, combat exclusive lean physique and tall stature form. At this moment, the ghouls have formed a line, watching from the sidelines. Who do you think is stronger, Master Hanliu or that human woman? One ghoul scoffs at this. Can't you see the difference in their physiques? To Master Hanliu, that human woman probably doesn't even qualify as an opponent. But Bullock interrupts, his face serious. My master is one of the 10 strongest on this continent. You can't judge by physique alone. At this moment, Hanyu looks at the data in his eagle eye with confusion. Weight 67, 2, skeletal muscle mass 32, 7, body fat mass 9, 2, body fat percentage 13. Such low skeletal mighty. She general's voice reaches him again. She curiously asks what martial techniques Hanliu's fitness teaching possesses. But before Hanliu can answer, the space around him suddenly becomes turbulent. The next moment, she suddenly appears above Hanliu, launching a fierce attack at him. But Hanliu blocks everything with one arm. The general can't help but think, such monstrous strength exists in this world. But her offensive doesn't stop, continuing to strike at Hanliu. Demi-human, as a human senior, I have some advice for you. The general speaks while attacking, leaving Hanliu bewildered. What normal person talks this much during a fight? Do you know why you're called a demi-human, even though your physique looks so human? But Hanliu responds, I'm not curious at all. The next moment, fists the size of sandbags fly straight at the general, but the general leaps to evade. Her voice sounds from the sky because red magical power surges around you. The next moment, the general turns in midair. When approaching demons, the red color of magical power becomes more obvious, and your fighting style. Humans don't have technology to transform their bodies. Finishing, the general attacks Hanliu. The tremendous force cracks the ground upon contact, but Hanliu executes his technique diagonal leg press strike and dodges the attack. The next moment, Hanyu rolls once in the air and lands smoothly. At this moment, his face fills with anger. The body changes with effort. Don't you even have this basic knowledge? The general shakes her head. Only demi-humans like you have this ability. Humans only use sword techniques or magical power. Finishing, the general's body again bursts with powerful magic. Secret technique. Mountain of blades. After speaking, the general sheathes her sword, but the instant it enters the scabbard, countless sword shadows suddenly appear around Hanliu. Watching this, Hanliu breaks into a cold sweat. The general's voice reaches him again. Humans compensate for their lacking strength before dueling. As soon as she finishes, countless sword shadows attack Hanliu. Facing such a dense attack, Hanliu simply cannot dodge. Teaching people fitness is just a waste of effort. Now do you understand what I meant earlier? Why is fitness training like garbage to humans? Even if you rack your brain figuring out how to defeat me, you can't beat someone who contemplates swordsmanship every day. Hanliu lies on the ground, gradually propping himself up. Don't your opponents ever improve? Do you know how much stronger the opponent you face today will become by tomorrow? Hearing this, a cold smile crosses the general's lips. I don't want to know these things. Since we've met today, I won't give him a chance to see tomorrow's sun. Finishing, her aura condenses again as she uses the sword technique Mountain of Blades. The next moment, Hanliu leaps from the ground, and in an instant, all his muscles become full. He's using the bodybuilding pose front double biceps. The general's attack follows, but Hanliu's face now shows nothing but defiance. We who train our bodies will always defeat a version of ourselves stronger than yesterday, no matter when or where. The next moment, Hanliu also executes his secret technique 10 reps. And 10 reps in fitness means doing one set of training movements 10 times. As soon as he speaks, Hanliu's physique continuously expands, growing larger and larger. Now it's my turn to teach you a lesson, old lady. Meanwhile, on Bullock's side, Raphael and the others have also arrived. Right now they look hesitant and embarrassed. We just wanted to see Bullock sooner, so we brought our master along. We didn't expect it to turn into this situation. Coming to find you this way. You must think we're idiots, right? Bullock looks bewildered. How could I hate you over something like this? But Raphael and the other think, because we put pressure on you, that's why you left us. Bullock shakes his head to indicate, that's not it. I only came here to learn fitness. I'll return to the village after I finish learning. And Master Hanliu has agreed. Hearing this, the two instantly shake off their previous dejected appearance, leaving Bullock puzzled. Can practicing swordsmanship also help with changing expressions? But Raphael and the other don't care what Bullock is thinking and ask what he's learning about fitness here. Handad also expresses wanting to experience what fitness is. Bullock shakes his head, indicating he's only just started learning recently. Then his gaze turns to the old ghoul king nearby. Can you help me? The old ghoul king immediately nods. I can help. Bullock's face immediately lights up with joy as he turns to ask the two, do either of you remember what our master said was most important when we first started learning swordsmanship? Raphael immediately raises his arm. The lower body. Correct. The exercise we're learning now also utilizes the lower body, especially this one, the squat, which effectively trains the quadriceps. Although Master Hanliu said start with safe, familiar positions to make it more interesting. Finishing, Bullock adds more weight to the barbell. Watching this, the old ghoul king worries, starting with this much weight? Are you really good brothers? But Bullock responds with a bright smile that it's fine. I'll spot them from behind. Meanwhile, on Hanliu's side, the general is enduring Hanliu's punch after punch. These attacks have rhythm, and more importantly, Hanliu counts 1, 2, 3, 4 with each punch. This infuriates the general. If you're going to hit, then hit. What's the point of warning me you're about to attack? Why are you holding back? But Hanliu shakes his head. I'm not holding back. Just as the general is about to continue scolding, voices from Raphael and Handad sound from her side. The general looks over with confusion, and the next moment her face flushes red. At this moment, Raphael and Handad have removed their shirts, their upper bodies fully exposed. Watching this scene, the old lady feels both bashful and excited, wanting to look away but unable to control her eyes. What training method is that? Why is it so pleasing to the eye? That's failure squats, a type of training movement in fitness. But doing it that way will get them injured. The general no longer has her initial defiant appearance, I think. Fitness can be added to my training regimen. Hearing this, Hanliu also deactivates combat mode, but still asks a lingering question. What exactly is fitness in your eyes? Of course, it's burning, sticky passion, and seeing people enjoying themselves while drenched in sweat. Thus, the two reach consensus through fitness. Soon, everyone embarks on the journey to the White Kingdom. Hanliu's gaze is drawn to the muscles on the general's arms. Your forearms are so strong. What exercises have you done? The general indicates she hasn't done anything special, just practices sword swings every day. That counts as a type of training too. But I have something to ask you. Is it really okay to teach such an amazing training method to others without expecting anything in return? Hanliu waves his hand to indicate it's definitely fine. Of course, the more people doing fitness, the better. This statement leaves the general puzzled. Doesn't everyone keep their good things secret, afraid others will learn them? But Hanliu looks completely unconcerned. If more people do fitness, there'll be gyms everywhere I go. If we can research more types of exercises, training can be more efficient too. If there's a chance, I also hope to spread fitness culture to the place called Lethia. The general looks thoughtful. It seems you're more interesting than I thought. I appreciate you. When we meet the Count shortly, I'll ask him to grant you one wish. The journey to the White Kingdom is long. As night falls, everyone sets up a temporary camp nearby. At this moment, Bullock approaches Hanliu with a serious expression. Master Hanliu, you may not know this, but the White Kingdom where I live has very severe discrimination. The people there not only discriminate against other races, but also against magic and heretics. They're only friendly to their own kind, especially swordsmen. Young people like me are less like that, but I'm afraid Master Hanliu and the ghoul athletes will feel uncomfortable. Hanliu nods. This is indeed a big problem. Bullock suggests, would it be better to visit after some time? But Hanliu ignores this and walks straight toward a nearby feed trough. The next moment, he actually competes with the horses for food, gulping down feed. This scene shocks the people around, as expected of an uncivilized being, eating livestock feed. But at this moment, Hanyu seems as moved as if tasting delicacies, this rough and dry texture. This is the raw material for oatmeal, oats, such clean carbohydrates, and only horses are eating them? This is a big problem. The White Kingdom people watch him eat so enthusiastically and are shocked again. Monsters are indeed monsters. Even their eating habits are so uncultured. If the monsters heard that, they'd be sad. The old ghoul king walks over at this moment, scolding the two. Then he takes out his own rations. I improved your combat rations a bit. Try it. Looking at the food the monster offers. They're very reluctant, but can't resist the fragrant aroma. The next moment, they put the food in their mouths and begin chewing slowly. Then both are shocked. A sweet taste subtly mingles with a pleasant spiciness burning in the mouth. And there's even an aroma of cooked food that stirs appetite from deep within. A familiar taste. It's mom's cooking. The two immediately give the old ghoul king a thumbs up. The old ghoul king responds proudly, once we're more familiar, I'll share the recipe with you. So don't say discriminatory things about monsters anymore. At this moment, Hanyu has found General Lewin. General Lewin curiously asks what he wants. Do you remember saying during the day that you'd help me fulfill one wish? The general nods. I've already decided. The next moment, Hanyu opens his palm where a small amount of feed lies. I want to obtain this type of grain. To this, the general shows no doubt. I saw earlier you're raising chickens. Do you want to feed them this? Of course this is for us to eat. General Lewin breaks into a cold sweat, although this is your request, having me give you livestock. Feed feels a bit awkward. Exactly, Master Hanyu. At this moment, the ghoul squad leader also walks toward Hanyu. She looks like someone with high status and power. How can you waste such a great opportunity on livestock feed? At these words, Hanyu becomes instantly furious, his face full of dissatisfaction. General Lewin also speaks up. They're right. I'll agree to whatever request you make. Not everyone gets this treatment. I can replace your tents with log cabins, or give you well-fitted, stylish adventurers' outfits. And for food, isn't chicken breast from the chickens enough? Isn't that Master Hanyu's favorite protein? Hearing this, Hanyu feels a headache coming on. It seems necessary to educate you all properly. Eating only protein is actually harmful to the body, especially placing a heavy burden on the liver. But if you consume appropriate carbohydrates, you produce glycogen, which helps muscles generate explosive power. Especially oats, a complex carbohydrate. Because they digest slowly, they create greater and longer-lasting satiety, are low in calories, and rich in various nutrients. On Earth, where I used to live, they're called the king of grains. So tell me, what reward is better for the body than eating oats? Hearing this, Lewin and her group fall silent, completely unable to understand what on earth he's talking about. But the ghouls are so excited their bodies can't stop trembling. So that's how it is. From now on, let's chow down on oats. We want to grow muscles, exaggerated muscles. This entire scene falls into the eyes of the surrounding White Kingdom soldiers. At this moment, they grit their teeth. Is this the secret to how that demi-human can fight General Lewin? If humans lose to monsters, I can't accept it. Let's eat too. And the moment Hanyu finishes speaking, Bullock starts gulping it down. Handad and Raphael watch this from behind, swallowing. Even Bullock is eating it. Let's try it too. Thus, the next instant, a crowd gathers around the feed trough. Ghouls like starving ghosts reincarnated. Soldiers who don't want to lose to monsters. And of course, the horses, who were eating but are now interrupted and look bewildered. The next moment, they all spit out the food they just put in their mouths. This tastes terrible. Raphael swears he's never eaten anything this awful in his entire life. But while wiping his mouth, his gaze is drawn to Bullock across from him. At this moment, Bullock is chewing the grain in his mouth heartily. Bullock, spit it out. This stuff is so bad, even the ghouls spit it out. But Bullock's face is full of smiles. I think it tastes pretty good. It's dry to chew and the texture is nice. This entire scene is captured in Hanliu's eyes. I didn't expect Bullock to have such talent even in eating. He'll definitely get big fast, right? This motivates me a bit. At this moment, General Lewin also approaches. Although I don't understand what on earth Hanliu just said, seeing you all look satisfied, I'll actively persuade the Count to meet your conditions. Hanliu is immediately delighted. General Lewin, you're such a good person. Hanliu's group soon arrives at the White Kingdom. The next day, throughout the journey, Bullock's expression remains serious. Master Hanliu, just as I told you before, this country is the most xenophobic and discriminatory. The White Kingdom people's discussions constantly reach the ghoul squad leader's ears, annoying him greatly. At this moment, Hanyu's large hand suddenly lands on his shoulder. What are you standing there for? Quickly show them some poses. What do you mean? The ghoul squad leader is puzzled. Hanyu immediately explains, it's because your physiques are so good that they keep sneaking glances. The ghouls suddenly understand. Is that so? Bullock stands to the side, bewildered. It's definitely not like that. The next moment, the ghouls take a deep breath and immediately show off their exaggerated pecs to the people of White Kingdom. This scene leaves everyone from White Kingdom completely baffled, utterly unable to understand why these monsters are so excited. Soon, everyone arrives at the White Kingdom Palace. The general has already reported the full details. The Count of White Kingdom sits high above and asks, you mean after teaching fitness, you'll leave, right? Hanliu immediately nods. The payment for training is just livestock feed? Hanliu nods again, standing up to clarify. Not feed. Oats. Oatmeal that can be eaten as a meal. But in the Count's eyes, this appears to be rude behavior. What a lowly race. I'm only letting you monsters into the city out of respect for the general. If the general hadn't specifically asked me, the guards would have already at the city gates. General Lewin immediately, bows, thanking the Count for his generosity. The next moment, the Count's roar echoes through the hall. So you'd better live quietly and not cause any trouble. Once you finish teaching that fitness thing, leave immediately. Hanliu immediately clenches his fist to show agreement. Count, after you're done with your work, you can come train with me. I'll give you personal coaching sessions. The Count ignores him completely, turning to dismiss them both. After they leave, the Count's face twists with anger. How insolent these creatures are. The next moment, he slumps back onto his throne. General Lewin is far too popular. I was worrying about how to win back the people's hearts, but heaven is helping me. After so much deliberation, the solution just fell into my lap. Immediately, he waves his hand. Someone, summon the chicken mercenary band. General Lewin, the guests you invited have now become your weakness. Soon, General Lewin leads Hanliu to the soldiers' training grounds. Everyone, halt. Today we're conducting a special training session. The person beside me is a special instructor invited by General Lewin. The Ghoul King, Lu Hanyu. The soldiers are immediately bewildered. The Ghoul King? Isn't that a monster? Why would we have a monster teach us? I know you're all dissatisfied, but disobeying orders violates military law. I hope you'll all think carefully before acting. Hello everyone. Hanyu steps forward. I'm your special fitness instructor. My name is Lu Hanyu, but I'm not satisfied with the look in your eyes. Everyone, prepare for push-ups. The crowd looks confused. What are push-ups? Hanyu immediately drops to the ground. You punks, all of you get down now. The ghouls have already dropped down behind Hanliu the instant he finishes speaking. Many of White Kingdom's soldiers hesitate, though some gradually get down on the ground. Hanliu watches this scene, his face filled with anger. What are you waiting for? Get down now. Someone watching this scene laughs mockingly. This is truly ridiculous. Are we all really going to listen to that monster? The instructor immediately responds. During training, the monster's orders are the general's orders. That's the rule here. The man waves dismissively. Is that really what you think, instructor? Do you truly believe that monster's words are equivalent to the general's words? Hearing this, the general falls silent. Seeing this, the man immediately shouts to those around him, everyone get up! Are you really going to listen to a monster? Don't you have any pride as human beings? Seeing this, Hanliu gradually stands up, his face showing clear displeasure, asking what the man is doing. The man waves nonchalantly. There are too many problems. First, we won't follow a monster's orders. I feel your fitness training has no practical use. Why should we abandon useful swordsmanship to learn other training? As he finishes, the man places his hand on his sword hilt. Second, the next moment he draws his sword. Third, and most importantly, as humans, we don't want to learn from uncivilized monsters. Fearing Hanliu's rage, the old Ghoul King has already positioned himself in front of Hanliu. I can resolve this matter. Then, he points to Bullock nearby. For the first issue, we just need Bullock to conduct the training, right? That way you're following human instruction, not monster commands. Second, you haven't learned fitness, so how would you know it's inferior to swordsmanship? How about we monsters and you humans each send a representative to compete? And the third point, whether we're truly uncivilized. As he speaks, the old Ghoul King's expression gradually turns cold. We'll only know after we compete, you filthy humans. Then, he looks back at the ghouls behind him. Is everyone ready? As soon as he finishes, the ghouls respond with their unified chant. Watching this scene, Hanyu feels deeply gratified. These guys were worth all the effort. Very well, I accept your proposal. Instructor, do you agree? Hearing this, the instructor finally nods. Seeing the instructor nod, the man immediately steps forward. I'll represent the humans. Who will you monsters send? As soon as he finishes, a ghoul strides out from the group. Inside, the man is already gloating. These idiots probably think I'm just an apprentice. How pitiful. Let me show you why the chicken mercenary band, personally hired by the Count, is so notorious. The next moment, the man stomps heavily on the ground, launching himself at the ghoul. Die, you filthy monster. Seeing this, the ghoul doesn't panic at all, slightly bending his arm and executing a single-arm dumbbell front press. Then comes a loud boom, as the man boldly takes the ghoul's punch with his face. The next moment, the man is sent flying into the sky by the ghoul's tremendous force. After landing, the man's face is barely recognizable as human-shaped. You used too much force. Did you train just to show off your strength? What if you accidentally killed him? Facing Hanyu's scolding, the ghoul meekly apologizes. Hearing this, Hanyu waves embarrassedly. It's not entirely your fault. I didn't expect him to be this weak. Then, Hanyu walks up to the White Kingdom soldiers. Since your representative lost, you'll obediently train with me. At this moment, the man who should be unconscious suddenly opens his mouth slightly. Sword technique. As soon as he speaks, powerful energy bursts from his body, the surrounding air humming intensely. The next moment, he launches forward, his long sword slashing straight toward the ghoul in front of him. Sensing danger, the ghoul turns around in terror, momentarily forgetting to dodge. At this critical moment, the old Ghoul King activates his 10 times heavy shield. The next moment, the man is pressed to the ground by tremendous force, unable to move. Hanyu immediately flashes forward, his palm lightly tapping toward the man's chest. The instant Hanyu's palm touches the man's chest, the man flies outward like a cannonball. The man is welded to the wall by Hanliu's seemingly light palm strike, the tremendous force making his entire body convulse. At this moment, General Lewin also arrives at the training grounds perimeter. She walks through the door with an excited expression. I wonder how Hanyu's training is going. How many pecs will I get to see this time? But at this moment, she only sees neatly dressed soldiers ahead, chattering noisily about something. The earlier scene has terrified the surrounding soldiers. Such amazing power from strength alone. They must have used magic midway. The next moment, General Lewin thrusts her sword into the ground. The loud sound instantly draws everyone's attention. Seeing who arrived, both the instructor instructor and Hanliu quickly run over. General Lewin looks at the instructor with clear displeasure. I don't quite understand what's happening. Please report to me. The instructor immediately stands at attention. Because an apprentice believed we shouldn't follow monster instructions for training, both sides sent representatives to compete. Our soldier was defeated in the match. Some are protesting that the ghoul cheated in the duel by using magic. Hearing this, General Lewin turns her gaze to Hanliu. Did you use magic in the match? Hanliu immediately shakes his head. I don't know how to use magic. He says he didn't. General Lewin's gaze turns back to the instructor. The instructor immediately breaks into a cold sweat. I also don't think he used magic during the duel, but before the instructor can finish, he's interrupted. It turns out the Count has also arrived. I just happened to pass by and heard something unbelievable. General, do you believe what those monsters say? Shouldn't the general stand with the people of White Kingdom? Or do you want to stand with those inferior monsters? Hearing this, the general breaks into a cold sweat. Of course I stand with the people of White Kingdom. But the Count's expression grows colder. Yet now you believe the nonsense those monsters speak. At this moment, Hanliu walks forward. You came for a coaching session, right? Come down from your horse first. But before getting close to the Count, Hanliu is pulled back by the old Ghoul King. I think, Lord Hanliu, you've misunderstood. Come behind me first. After Hanliu steps back, the Count's gaze turns to General Lewin. You know I value you as a talent, don't you? General Lewin immediately nods. Of course I understand. Hearing this, the Count's expression turns cold again. But the guests you brought back have caused trouble for our nation. Not only have they injured the young bodies and spirits of our apprentices, but they've also created conflict and chaos among them. As the lord of this nation, I cannot let this matter go easily. The next moment, his gaze turns even colder. I've decided that General Lewin will take full responsibility for this matter. I sentence you to 2 years of exile. Hearing this, General Lewin's expression immediately turns dark and cold. This scene frightens the Count. She wouldn't want to kill me, would she? So scary. At this moment, countless voices rise behind General Lewin. Count, you can't do this. Why not just let us execute those monsters? Please take back your order. Countless voices reach General Lewin's ears. The next moment, she shows a smile, then turns to face everyone. All of you, be quiet. How dare you defy the Count's orders? Can you still call yourselves soldiers who protect the nation? But the soldiers remain indignant. Of course we won't defy the Count's orders, but this is really unfair to the general. But before he can finish, General Lewin interrupts. I see. I thought you were just brats who only knew how to discriminate, but you've actually learned to stand up to the Count. It seems there's been some progress, but I need to remove this support structure so these young saplings can have a chance to grow on their own. The next moment, General Lewin turns and bows to the Count. Thank you, Count. I'll take your consideration as an excuse to rest and return to the nation after recuperating for a while. The Count nods expressionlessly. That scared me to death. Her glare just now nearly made me wet myself. After speaking, Lewin's gaze turns to Hanliu nearby. I'm sorry, Hanliu. I brought you here but can't take care of you. Hanliu smiles, indicating, it's fine. After all, things don't always go according to plan. Seeing this, Lewin turns her gaze to the Count. May I ask, can we proceed with the original plan and let these monsters continue teaching here for 3 months? The Count nods. I will honor that agreement. Hearing this, Lewin feels relieved. Good. At least the basic foundation has been laid. I'm curious what effect these unexpected variables will have on these young saplings who yearn for change. When I return to the nation, it will surely be quite spectacular. Thinking this, General Lewin can't help but laugh heartily. This scene stuns everyone. Has General Lewin truly gone mad from being exiled? Soon, time shifts to nightfall. Outside White Kingdom's city walls, a figure gradually emerges. This person is the chicken mercenary who challenged the ghouls during the day. Right now, he wears a smile, looking quite content. If this kind of thing happens a few more times, I won't need to risk fighting goblins anymore. Since Belle likes flowers, maybe I should open a flower shop? As the man thinks about this, his cheeks flush red, thinking of something pleasant. Then, he opens the pocket watch in his hand. My wife, my daughter, wait for me a little longer. I'll be back soon. The man far away doesn't know that his wife and daughter will never see him return. Flames have already consumed the entire village. The villagers lucky enough not to be burned alive have turned into zombie-like walking corpses, constantly attacking the surviving villagers. This entire scene is witnessed by a man atop the mountain. Watching this scene, the man reveals a twisted smile. Then, he turns around with a delighted expression. Long time no see, Alyssa. Look, our hometown is welcoming us warmly. As he finishes, a maniacal smile appears on the man's face again, but only for an instant before returning to normal. He extends his hand with exaggerated courtesy. My princess, would you dance with me? The girl named Alyssa looks at the man before her, silent for a moment, then places her hand in the man's. Then, 2 figures begin dancing gracefully at the cliff's edge. Beautiful singing drifts down to the cliff bottom, where the fires of hell rage. In the blink of an eye, General Lewin is escorted out of the city gates. Her disciples see her off, making her quite happy. At least these brats were worth the effort. Then, she looks curiously at Bullock nearby. Why is Bullock here too? Bullock immediately explains. Because Lord Hanliu has no classes today, I wanted to go outside the city to gather some things, and I can escort General Lewin part of the way. Hearing this, General Lewin nods thoughtfully. In that case, let's stop by home. Bullock looks puzzled. The Count probably wouldn't allow that, would he? Lewin waves dismissively. If we don't let that old geezer know, it'll be fine, won't it? Truly, my master's so quick thinking. Then I'll trust you, master. Bullock's voice has been getting louder recently. After saying this, General Lewin pats Bullock's arm. You've gotten stronger too. If you get a bit more capable, you'll be able to marry me. Hearing this, Bullock immediately breaks into a cold sweat. Master, aren't you over 60 years old? I just turned 20. Isn't this a bit unreasonable? The next moment, Lewin becomes furious. Raphael and Handad sacrifice themselves to protect him, allowing Bullock to run off into the distance without looking back. Meanwhile, a slime is stealthily crawling on the ground, completely unaware of the fate awaiting it. A ghoul suddenly appears behind it, startling the slime. The ghoul's arm muscles suddenly bulge, and the next moment it grabs the slime tightly into its embrace, as if to merge it into its body. The slime's helpless wails immediately fill the air. Soon, another ghoul arrives carrying a slime. Their outing has been quite successful, and both have unstoppable smiles on their faces. Every time Lord Hanliu makes something we don't understand, it's to teach us new movements. Let's hurry back. At this moment, Lewin and her companion also arrive. General Lewin looks at the slimes in the ghoul's hands, full of confusion. Why did you come here to catch slimes? Hearing this, the ghoul shows an expression as if looking at an idiot. Of course we came to catch slimes because we need slimes. Lewin is even more confused. Slimes are the most useless creatures. What do you need slimes for? But the ghoul doesn't know what Hanyu wants the slimes for either, suggesting General Lewin ask Lord Hanyu directly. So the two quickly arrive at Hanyu's location. Seeing Bullock, Hanyu is quite happy. But then, why did you just swagger over here? Why didn't you use lunges? At this moment, the ghouls nearby are using pectoral resonance to surround the slimes. Watching this scene, Lewin looks utterly bewildered. What are you planning to do with those slimes? Hanliu explains. Recently I observed the apprentices at the training grounds and found their bodybuilding and powerlifting training efficiency is poor. In this situation, only using the assisted training method to help them train will have some effect. But because there's too little equipment, I'm making some by hand. I understand. General Lewin suddenly feels enlightened. Is it like how we make training dummies to practice sword swings? Hanliu shakes his head, indicating it's not quite the same as sword training. Then, he looks at the ghouls behind him. Help me grab any slime. Soon, a slime is brought before Hanliu. The next moment, Hanyu's merciless hand plunges directly into the slime's soft body, instantly extracting the core from within the slime's body. Even if you remove the round part in the middle of a slime, it regenerates after a few days. And where the regeneration point disappears, holes form in the middle of the slime. Hanyu then thrusts his fist forcefully into the slime's hole. These slimes have very strong elasticity and contraction. We use their high contractile strength and shape them by putting our hands in before the slime fully contracts, so the shape stays fixed. The resistance band for training is complete. Although you may not fully understand Lewin, resistance bands can really train many muscle groups. The band's resistance varies by color, so you can use different resistance levels based on the strength of each muscle group. They can also be used for accessories, warm-ups, and more. The applications are extremely wide-ranging. At this moment, Hanyu, speaking enthusiastically, is interrupted by General Lewin. Seeing Hanyu's gaze turn to her, General Lewin apologizes for interrupting. Then she waves her hand. I've never really understood you. So I always suspected that your love for training and friendliness toward people were all just an act, but you've always greeted us with genuine warmth. As an educator, I feel like a failure and ashamed for allowing White Kingdom to be filled with discrimination. So all this time, I've only been following the Count's reckless actions. But you're different from me. You can bring change to this country. Change? Hanyu's gaze sharpens, catching the key word. The next moment, he displays his exaggerated pecs. Change is what I do best. I can not only change myself, but also transform entire groups. The Ghoul King. Lewin waves her hand, indicating that's not what she meant. The change I'm talking about is this. As soon as she finishes, White Kingdom soldiers appear before everyone. They no longer show their previous disdain, looking at the ghouls before them with faces full of smiles. Monster Instructor, let's hear what you're going to teach us. It's definitely not because we lost to you. Don't make us do weird movements like push-ups. Hanliu, can I entrust all my disciples to you? Watching this scene, Hanliu breaks into a cold sweat. But the next moment, he clenches his fist. Of course, warmly welcome all new members. The scene shifts to another location. Receiving the report, the Count quickly rides to the fire-engulfed village. After signaling everyone to dismount, the Count begins explaining the precautions for this operation. Our enemy, the zombies, are undead. The most terrifying thing about zombies is that anyone bitten becomes one of them. So you must be careful not to get bitten and stay alert at all times. After speaking, the Count raises his sword. All troops attack. As soon as he finishes, countless soldiers charge resolutely into the sea of flames ahead. The next moment, the soldiers engage in fierce combat with the zombies. This entire scene is witnessed by the mastermind hiding nearby. At this moment, the man impatiently signals Belterman to wait here. If we show ourselves now, General Lewin might join the battle. Hearing this, Belterman barks wildly around the man in frustration. This infuriates the man, and the next moment, he kicks Belterman away. I said no, you stupid dog. Rejected and abused, Belterman whimpers pitifully twice, then stands up completely unharmed the next moment, walking toward the man. Seeing this, the man steps forward and gently pets Belterman. Just wait a little longer, Belterman. Those zombies are just expendable. Pawns anyway. The scene shifts to White Kingdom's training grounds. Hanyu looks at the soldiers before him, nodding with satisfaction. As I mentioned to you all last time, since everyone has limited daily energy, you must train the muscles you need. Does everyone understand? After Hanyu finishes, the instructor immediately steps forward. Quick! After warming up thoroughly with resistance bands, prepare to start bench pressing. But the next moment, the instructor's announcement is interrupted by Hanyu. We're not doing bench press today. Today we're doing CrossFit training. This statement leaves the instructor completely baffled. What's CrossFit? CrossFit is a training method that pursues continuous, varied, high-intensity, and functional movement. It develops balance across 6 aspects: stamina, explosive power, speed, coordination, and flexibility. Combined with group training methods, where each team has different training volumes, team members develop both cohesion and competitive spirit. When we're still unfamiliar with each other like now, there's no better training method. Old Ghoul King, you'll now announce everyone's groups. After everyone confirms, let's begin today's training with burning passion. As soon as he finishes, deafening cheers erupt across the field. Pecs, pecs. Soon, the ghouls and White Kingdom soldiers begin their passionate training. Here, the Old Ghoul King still serves as Hanliu's weight adjuster. At this moment, a sound interrupts Hanliu's training. Immediately, he asks the instructor with confusion, "What's that sound I keep hearing in the broadcasts recently?" The instructor explains, because zombies have been appearing frequently outside the city recently. The Count has to personally lead troops to raid them. If enemy forces are too strong, signals like this are continuously sent to request reinforcements. But even though Hanliu asked the question himself, he acts as if he's not listening at all. Group 4, I'm talking to you. Your core has no strength. Lower the weight a bit more. The scene shifts to the Count's side. At this moment, the Count has led his troops to attack the enemy's main base. This time, we must completely annihilate the enemy and restore peace to our nation. As soon as he finishes, countless cheers erupt on the field. The atmosphere is fully charged, and the Count raises his sword again. All troops, charge. As soon as he finishes, countless soldiers charge resolutely toward the zombie horde. Today we reclaim peace for our nation. Watching the scene, the Count feels deeply satisfied. At this moment, his guard asks, "Isn't this too aggressive?" Hearing this, the Count responds, "The zombie's intelligence has degraded to the point of having no strategic or tactical ability. So with strength and cunning, we can catch them all in one sweep." Watching the soldiers fighting bloody battles below, the Count orders again. No one is allowed to slow down. Don't stop until the enemy is eliminated. At this moment, a group of soldiers has also attacked the rear of the zombie horde. Surrounded by soldiers, Ban shows no panic whatsoever, even showing a smile at the corner of his mouth. He lightly snaps his fingers, and instantly, Belterman descends from above, appearing before everyone. Ban strokes Belterman while showing a sinister smile. The next moment, he points to the soldiers preparing to attack him. "Bite them to death." As soon as he finishes, Belterman charges at the soldiers. In just an instant, the soldiers who surrounded Ban are completely wiped out. At this moment, someone arrives carrying a gleaming sword. The arrival is the Count. At this moment, his face is full of rage as he swings his sword at Ban. Looking at the Count, Ban shows a smile. "Long time no see, Count." The next moment, he pulls out a staff from his waist, easily blocking the Count's furious strike. "Did you skip a meal? Your attack is so weak." Hearing this, the Count isn't bothered at all. "Your mouth hasn't changed one bit, and you still can't use sword techniques like before." The next second, the Count flicks away the staff, pressing on his sword. Ban takes the opportunity to create distance. "I haven't studied sword techniques, so of course I can't use them." Then, he pulls out a pile of potions from his pants. "I haven't studied sword techniques, but I have studied these things." As soon as he finishes, Ban inserts the syringe into his small frame. In an instant, Ban's body undergoes a mutation. Watching Ban expand larger and larger before his eyes, the Count's eyes fill with horror. At this moment, he can't believe it. But Ban's increasingly swollen body before him makes the Count's heart sink. "You madman, you've been involved in human experimentation?" Ban's smiling face at this moment seems to be the best answer to his question. Looking at Ban's grotesque appearance, the Count forces himself to calm down. It seems his condition isn't very stable. Then, the Count glances aside, thinking to himself, "Since battle is unavoidable, I should eliminate Ban before others disrupt the situation." Thinking this, the Count looks at Ban before him, his feet stepping back slightly. The next moment, he uses his technique and stomps heavily on the ground. Instantly, his figure appears above Ban's head, raising his sword to strike down at Ban. But seeing this, Ban merely waves his hand lightly, and the Count flies backward at an even faster speed than his approach. Knocked to the ground, the Count's face shows disbelief. Such tremendous strength and speed. This is absolutely ridiculous. But before he can recover, Ban is already charging at him with fists the size of sandbags. Seeing this, the Count is shocked and immediately dodges. The next moment, Ban's fist strikes where the Count just was. Successfully avoiding the attack, the Count breathes a sigh of relief. "If that had hit me, I'd be dead for sure." The next moment, he swings his sword down at Ban below. In response, Ban lets out an angry roar, then clenches both fists and swings at the Count. This scene shocks the Count. "I can't use leverage in midair. There's no avoiding this move." At this critical moment, all his strength surges again, planning to use his technique to directly withstand Ban's attack. But just as the Count thinks he's blocked the attack and breathes a sigh of relief, the tremendous force contained in Ban's fists slams him directly to the ground. Instantly, thick clouds of dust rise from the ground. The Count now sits on the ground weakly, looking at the monster before him, his entire body trembling uncontrollably, unable to even grip his sword at this moment. At this moment, he realizes his mistake. The monster before him is absolutely not someone he can handle. Although his abilities were gained through improper means, this power is simply too overwhelming. At this moment, a smile suddenly appears on Ban's face. "I knew you'd think that. You people are all like this, stuck in your ways, thoughts rigid and outdated, rejecting everything except swordsmanship, which is why you've become so backward, not understanding the benefits that civilization's advancement brings. No progress after all this time. You're all just idiots. Hearing his beloved swordsmanship insulted like this, the Count struggles to lift his head. You brat, you know how strong General Lewin is? How dare you be so arrogant? Hearing this, Ban scoffs. Of course I know how strong General Lewin is, but Count, why don't you turn around and look at the battle situation behind you? Hearing this, the Count curiously turns back to look. The scene before him makes his pupils dilate and every hair on his body stand on end. Countless soldiers are being eliminated like toys by the subordinates Ban brought. Before them, these well-trained soldiers are like toys, completely powerless to resist. And the soldiers who manage to survive under these circumstances are then surrounded by endless zombies, ultimately becoming new zombies and joining Ban's ranks. Watching these scenes, fear and rage simultaneously creep into the Count's heart. The well-trained elite troops have fallen just like that. At this moment, even his will to resist gradually fades. Watching this scene, Ban clicks his tongue with boredom. Now it's time to send you on your way. The next moment, Ban's sandbag-sized fist swings toward the Count. At this moment, a sword flash lights up, shooting straight toward Ban's body. Then, a voice rings out. It turns out the Count's guard has arrived. At this moment, his face shows great urgency. Count, please retreat first. I'll hold them off here. Receiving no response, he turns back in confusion. The Count is already running away without looking back. This scene freezes both of them in place. The guard's face fills with speechlessness. The next moment, Ban bursts out laughing. This is the Count you risked your life to save. But what can you possibly change alone? Everyone retreat, retreat now. The guard's desperate roar echoes, despite having his heart broken by the Count. The guard quickly regains composure and commands, "We've been defeated. Everyone run back to White Kingdom. As long as we make it back, there's still hope." After this, the guard turns his gaze to Ban. "As long as I stand here, you won't advance a single step." But before he finishes speaking, Ban's massive fist buries him, silencing him forever. Only a broken sword remains to prove he was ever here. "Should we chase them?" Ban's subordinate asks, watching the fleeing soldiers. Ban, whose body is shrinking, shakes his head. "No need. We already know where they're going. That foolish Count will surely gather everyone together again to defeat us. Doesn't that save us a lot of trouble?" Meanwhile, the Count, despite having run far away, is still terrified inside. Just thinking about that scene makes his heart pound like a drum. This absolutely isn't an opponent I can defeat. How can I possibly defeat them? He then turns to the soldiers, retreating with him. "Can someone report our army's current status?" As soon as he speaks, someone rides up. "I'm the captain of the 20th Squad. My name is Lumi. In this operation, out of 400 soldiers, 347 died or were infected, 27 were injured, and only 26 remain unharmed." Hearing this, the Count breaks into a cold sweat, thinking frantically, there are still 100 soldiers guarding the city, even adding apprentices and wounded soldiers. Only 126 are combat capable. Thinking this, the Count can't help but curse. 400 failed, and with only 126 left, how do we deal with him? Seeing this, Lumi asks timidly, "Should we summon General Lewin back?" "Too late!" the Count shouts anxiously. "Even if we go find her now, she can't get back in time." At this moment, Lumi makes another suggestion. "Should we request support from those monsters currently living in the city?" Hearing this, the Count glances over in confusion. "The monsters?" Lumi nods. "I heard their leader, Lu Hanyu, once fought General Lewin, and their strength was evenly matched. We let them live in the city with food and lodging provided. Using this as leverage to request their support in battle, I don't think they'll refuse." Hearing this, the Count nods thoughtfully. "Fight monsters with monsters." The next moment, the gloom in his heart vanishes, and an excited smile appears on his face. "Excellent! From now on, you'll be my guard." 3 days later, the Count's group finally returns to White Kingdom territory. Upon returning, the Count rushes immediately to the training grounds. "Stop training! Everyone assemble now!" Everyone looks over in confusion. Today's training isn't finished yet. Seeing no one stopping, the new guard immediately stands up and roars, "What are you waiting for? Are you defying the Count's orders?" Reluctantly, everyone puts down their training equipment and slowly walks toward the Count. The Count looks at Lu Hanyu with arrogance in his eyes. "Your name is Lu Hanyu, isn't it? Demi-human." Lu Hanyu nods. "Are you here for my training class?" The Count's mind fills with exasperation. "Can you stop mentioning your training class? I've provided you lowly monsters with food and shelter here. Now it's time to repay my kindness. I command you, starting now by my order, eliminate the zombie army currently gathering outside the city." But the ghouls before him look blank-faced, thinking, what is this old guy talking about? Seeing this, the Count's heart sinks, looking at their vacant expressions. Can't these things understand me? However, the Count can't give up here. The next moment, he points at the ghoul group again. "I'll let you, who face discrimination everywhere, die with the honor of glorious sacrifice. Especially your leader Lu Hanyu. I'll even grant him the rights of a White Kingdom citizen." Do you know what this means? It means you can freely show off your bizarre fitness here. But before the Count finishes his generous speech, Lu Hanyu interrupts. The ghouls take a deep breath, and the next moment all raise their strong arms, revealing their perfect pectorals. This scene leaves the Count completely bewildered. "What are you doing? Do you still not understand what I said?" "Of course we understand." Lu Hanyu steps forward with a smile. "This is bodybuilding, an important aspect of fitness knowledge. And this is what bodybuilding is showing off truly means. Hearing this, the Count flies into a rage. I don't have time for your nonsense. If you don't obey my orders quickly. But before he finishes, Liu Hanyu interrupts again. If we die or get seriously injured, we won't be able to train these guys, right? If our muscles waste away, can you take responsibility? Watching Liu Hanyu's angry expression, the Count breaks into a cold sweat, though he doesn't understand what he's saying at all. Seeing that angry look, and such intense pressure, if he doesn't apologize, he'll probably die. Alright, I was wrong. I sincerely apologize for my earlier words. After speaking, the Count signals his new guard and turns to leave, afraid that staying even one more second will be his end. Really not going to try convincing them again? The guard looks worried. With just ourselves, this city is in grave danger. The Count, already grinding his teeth in frustration with Liu Hanyu's group, signals the guard not to mention this again. I never expected them to help anyway. Summon General Os? The guard is shocked. Really summon General Os? The Count nods. Though his character isn't great, his strength can barely match General Lewin's. After he arrives, gather all forces at the city gate. It's time to show those zombies real skill. Soon, countless zombies surround the city gate completely. The Count looks at the massive swarm of corpses and can't help swallowing nervously. General Os beside him remains calm, looking completely in control. I heard there's a boss among you who can think. Don't you want to have a proper talk? As soon as he finishes, several figures emerge from the corpse horde. What do you annoying flies want to say to me? Ban slowly walks out from the crowd, asking impatiently. Seeing the enemy leader emerge, General OSS points to himself. Though your forces are massive, we're all rigorously trained soldiers. Getting past us won't be easy. So, how about sending one representative to duel me? The representative of Wailing Island. Hearing this, Ban's previously disinterested face immediately breaks into a smile. Sounds fun. I accept your proposal. General Os's face instantly shows a cunning smile. I knew you'd agree. The next moment, he rises and leaps to the ground. So, who's my opponent? From the corpse horde, a tall humanoid figure slowly approaches. His crimson pupils stare straight at General Os, looking at his prey, finally emitting indescribable sounds. Quite a big build. General OSS looks disdainful. Let me see if you truly have the strength. After speaking, he charges at Parang with his greatsword. The next instant, General Os's greatsword strikes Parang's body. Parang's arm muscles begin to swell violently, blocking OSS's attack with his body. Oh ho, pretty tough, aren't you? General Os says mockingly, raising his greatsword again. Let me see how many hits you can take. As soon as he finishes, the greatsword strikes Parang with even greater force. Parang stares viciously at the man relentlessly attacking him, and the next moment, opens his mouth, spitting out an unknown liquid as a counterattack toward Os. But the long-planned strike is easily dodged by General OSS. The liquid hits the ground with a corrosive sound. General OSS looks puzzled at the substance from his opponent's mouth, then turns his gaze to Parang, examining him curiously. In his 20 years of military service, this is the first time seeing such a massive zombie that can also shoot things from its mouth. At this moment, he develops unparalleled interest in the zombie before him. Being stared at by General Os, Parang feels uneasy. What's with this burning gaze? Is this man sick? The next moment, he keeps backing away. His instincts tell him if he doesn't flee now, his life is forfeit. This bewilders Os. What's this? Why run away? Little rascal. Do you want to play chase with me? I'll indulge you. After speaking, he chases Parang with an evil smile. But the next moment, Parang's lips curl into a smile. Something's fishy. The battle-hardened General Os, with 20 years of experience, immediately becomes alert. At this moment, a bone flies from afar, rushing toward OSS's face with a wind-breaking force. General OSS is shocked, but his hands reflexively raise the greatsword, splitting the flying bone. How dare you interfere with this sacred duel? OSS is furious inside, and after speaking, charges toward the dog with his sword. But the next moment, the back of his head takes a solid punch from Ban. Ban's face is full of mockery. Sacred duel? What are you talking about with a bunch of zombies? Do you know why I accepted your proposal? Because you're this country's only variable. You didn't even realize you were surrounded by us. Stupidly chasing after Parang. Calling you an idiot would be insulting to idiots. In a flash, General OSS is pinned down by Parang and beaten to a pulp. His face no longer shows any arrogance, only weak pleas for mercy. This scene makes the Count and others break into cold sweat. It seems General OSS has also been defeated. But the most terrifying part is yet to come. The beaten OSS is lifted by Parang, then tossed up, playing a game of toss-up, but waiting below to catch him is a massive corpse horde. Thus, the corpse army gains a new zombie named Os. There's no hope? The Count, watching this from afar, feels his heart sink to the bottom. General Os is done for two. At this moment, Ban arrives beneath the city gate. Count, how about just surrendering? If you open the gate now and let us in, I can spare your life specially. Stop talking nonsense, the Count responds furiously. Do you think I'd abandon Viling Island's citizens and hand them over to an inhuman scum like you? Ban waves dismissively. Looks like negotiations have broken down, but it doesn't matter. I never planned to spare you anyway. After speaking, his previously smiling expression instantly turns cold. He points his hand toward Viling Island's gate. Now, it's time we went in. As soon as he finishes, countless zombies roar and charge toward Viling Island's gate. Shoot arrows! Shoot arrows quickly! The Count shouts anxiously. The soldiers beside him fumble with their bows and arrows, but the massive zombie horde is far from something a few bows can stop. The guard who has been beside the Count is also anxious. Count, what should we do now? The Count slowly turns his head, but what he says leaves the guard bewildered. I don't know either. Stop asking me. After dropping this line, line, the Count runs out of the watchtower. Coward! You're nothing but a coward. Running away is what cowards do. Young master's flaw is having too many pointless worries. I think running should be your strength. After all, following you means safety, right? Save me, Count. I don't want to only know how to run either. I'm the one who least wants to run, who understands how heavy the responsibility of being Count is. Have you thought about my position? But even a coward like me who can't shoulder responsibility still desperately wants to protect the important people. Lu Hanyu, please save us. I was wrong. I shouldn't have underestimated fitness. I shouldn't have looked down on you. I'm sorry. Even if you want to kill me, go ahead. I only ask that you protect my citizens and my soldiers. Please help this country. I beg you. The Count lies helplessly on the ground when Lu Hanyu's voice reaches his ears. Barging in suddenly, what nonsense are you talking about? He looks up, both helpless and confused, only to see that man's powerful back. Though I don't know what nonsense you're saying, I can take it that you want to train now, right? I'm not interested in your life, but I won't be polite about your personal training fees. Be prepared. After speaking, Lu Hanyu leads the ghouls toward the city gate. The Count watches Lu Hanyu's group departing from behind, utterly confused. He truly can't understand why these people who previously seemed like a group of uncivilized savages now feel so tall, mighty, and heroic. Soon, Lu Hanyu's group marches out of the training grounds. But the situation is urgent, so Lu Hanyu signals the ghouls to run there using interval training. The next moment, the ghoul group begins high-intensity sprinting. This exhausts the old ghoul king like a dog, panting heavily. He looks at the mighty procession ahead, feeling helpless inside. Don't they know what respecting elders means? Meanwhile, on the other side, the zombie horde has broken through the city gate. A mother closes her eyes tightly, holding her child close, waiting for death to arrive. The next moment, countless mixed sounds ring out. It's Lu Hanyu's ghoul group arriving. The child curiously opens his eyes to look, and the scene before him leaves his heart unable to calm for a long time. After dealing with this group of zombies, Lu Hanyu continues rushing toward the city gate. Will learning swordsmanship make you as strong as them? The child watching Lu Hanyu's group depart asks. The woman looks at Lu Hanyu's group's backs and shakes her head. That's not swordsmanship, my child. After the war ends, let's go ask together what skill that is. Soon, Lu Hanyu arrives near the city gate. The massive zombie swarm before him fills his eyes with concern. Are these zombies? They look severely dehydrated. At this moment, the old ghoul king also arrives, having done a lifetime's worth of exercise in one day. He's exhausted like a dog, panting as he explains to Liu Hanyu. Their race is called zombies, but they no longer have intelligence, only excessive appetite. You can think of them as moving corpses, so don't feel guilty attacking them. After speaking, the old ghoul king asks Liu Hanyu, how do you plan to deal with them now? Hearing this, Liu Hanyu looks toward the city gate. They're conveniently pouring in through the gate right now. The next moment, his pectorals begin bouncing vigorously. How about we just push them away with our pecs? Hearing this, the old ghoul king falls silent. Is this really a battle strategy a carbon-based lifeform could conceive? What's with your silence? Do you have objections to my method? If you do, speak up. I'm very democratic. The old ghoul king immediately waves his hands frantically. Sorry, I have no objections to your idea. You're a genius. Lu Hanyu is delighted. Seeing him so happy, the old ghoul king asks, can you give me command of this operation? Lu Hanyu nods casually and joins the battle. Having gained supreme command, the old ghoul king immediately shows a smug expression, unable to stop smiling. But soon, he calms down. Now's not the time to celebrate. Everyone split up. Groups 1 and 2, protect villagers in every corner of the village. Group 4, climb the city walls. Group 3, assist the human soldiers against the zombies. Group 5, assist Lu Hanyu in pushing the zombies out. After speaking, he looks toward Lu Hanyu. At this moment, Lu Hanyu alone blocks all the zombies outside the gate. Where's the need for Group 5? The old ghoul king isn't surprised. After all, this is Lu Hanyu, the man with brains in his muscles. At this moment, a voice suddenly rings out, interrupting the old ghoul king's thoughts. It's the Count who has also arrived. The Count shouts anxiously, signaling everyone to block the gate. Even if Lu Hanyu pushes the enemies out, if even one zombie sneaks through the gap, the entire village will be in danger. But the guard responds weakly. The gate's already been smashed. There's nothing to block it now. The Count is shocked. But at this moment, everyone hears Bullock's voice. Bullock and several ghouls are now carrying a massive sphere here, with Liu Hanyu's name written on it. It's the kettlebell Liu Hanyu uses for training. Everyone is shocked. Is this what General Lewin called poor aptitude? How can they even lift something that massive? Watching this, Liu Hanyu nods with satisfaction. This kid finally knows how to do a proper lunge squat. Bullock, you guys go ahead. At this moment, one of the ghouls carrying the kettlebell suddenly speaks. My quadriceps are giving out. I can barely lift my legs anymore. Bullock is shocked. You can't give up, senior. The gate is right ahead. You must hold on till the end. At this moment, the ghoul is drenched in cold sweat but still smiles, forcing himself to keep up. I know you care about me, but if we overtrain, we might get injured. If we get injured, we won't be able to train tomorrow. Just leave me behind and go on alone. After speaking, the ghoul can no longer hold on and collapses with a thud. That's not what I meant. Bullock, under doubled pressure, shouts anxiously, how are we supposed to lift this with one less person? Bullock is instantly crushed breathless by the suddenly increased weight, his vision becoming blurry. Why did it clear up? It's the old ghoul king arriving and using the heavy shield skill. But even so, the original 100 tons reduced to 10 tons still leaves the exhausted group gasping. Keep going. You can do it. The old ghoul king encourages them while maintaining the skill. You've come this far. Will you give up halfway? Can you accept being someone who quits? Stand up. I believe you can do it. Stand up. I believe you absolutely can. Bullock and the ghouls finally carry the kettlebell to the city gate. They exchange smiles, their eyes filled with affirmation for each other. Lu Hanyu sees all this and shows a satisfied smile. People who don't give up easily are truly admirable. You did well. The old ghoul king steps forward again. Everyone except Group 2 replace Lu Hanyu and push the zombies out. As soon as he finishes, countless ghouls spring into action. Is this correct? A ghoul asks Lu Hanyu while pushing zombies out. Use your glutes more. As soon as Lu Hanyu speaks, the ghoul's glutes bulge intensely. At this moment, the guard on the watchtower reminds everyone, don't let the zombies bite you. Once bitten, you'll become one of them. With a crunch, as soon as the guard finishes speaking, a ghoul gets bitten by a zombie. I feel it. Something hot is pouring in. In just an instant, the zombie's toxin fills the ghoul's entire body. The next moment, the ghoul acts like he's gone mad, howling toward the sky. Stop acting! We're already undead. How can we be infected? It's fun. Want to try acting too? The scene leaves the guard speechless. Are those ghouls having fun? Meanwhile, on Lu Hanyu's side, a large group of zombies suddenly surges in. Looking at Lu Hanyu's gleaming muscles, they seem to have found their life's purpose. The next moment, they bite hard into Lu Hanyu's shoulder, but his body is completely unharmed, even breaking several of the zombies' old teeth, really worrying. Don't you all take calcium supplements? Then with a light punch, the zombie dies on the spot. All of this is witnessed by Ban in the distance. Aren't they demi-humans and ghouls? Why are they helping humans? The next moment, he points at Lu Hanyu's group, attack. As soon as he finishes, the giant zombie and the dog charge toward Lu Hanyu's group, but are intercepted by Handad and Raphael, who have been waiting nearby. Seeing this, the Count also rushes anxiously to the watchtower. Lu Hanyu, he's the mastermind behind this. But the massive corpse swarm blocks Lu Hanyu's view. Can't see anything. Keep going forward and you'll see him, the Count shouts loudly. He has blue hair. Lu Hanyu nods, then looks at the ghouls beside him. I'll leave this to you then. Go without worry, Lu Hanyu. The next moment, Lu Hanyu's entire aura suddenly changes. Now it's time to use this move, reverse peck fly. As soon as he finishes, the countless corpse horde before him is parted bit by bit. The Count watches this godlike scene, breaking into a cold sweat. Is this what fitness is? After the war ends, I want to learn too. At this moment, Lu Hanyu has parted the corpse army and is gradually approaching Ban. Ban watches this scene and can't help breaking into a cold sweat. These useless fools can't even stop one person. Humans are trash, right, Alyssa? Alyssa nods slightly in response. Ban sighs helplessly. I didn't want to appear this early. After all, in hero comics, don't heroes always appear last? But there's no choice now. After speaking, Ban walks toward Lu Hanyu. When Lu Hanyu approaches, Ban inserts countless potions into his own body. Lu Hanyu watches the figure's changing physique and scratches his head in confusion. What are you doing? But before Lu Hanyu can wonder long, the next moment, Ban completes his transformation and charges at him. Seeing this, Lu Hanyu also charges at Ban. Instantly, their 10 fingers interlock. Why did you come to disrupt our plan? I heard someone was bullying my fitness trainees, so I came to see who. After speaking, Lu Hanyu presses down hard with both hands, and the sound of bones cracking instantly rings out. The pain of crushed bones makes Ban break into a cold sweat. Then he's heavily pressed down by Lu Hanyu. His face is full of disbelief. Is this a human or a monster? How can he have such monstrous strength? But before he can catch his breath, Lu Hanyu's large hand grips his neck tightly. You're the one bullying my fitness trainees? But what answers Lu Hanyu is countless punches from Ban. Lu Hanyu doesn't dodge. Finally, after 2 minutes of attacking, Ban gradually weakens. With Lu Hanyu gripping his neck, he can barely breathe in but breathes out more. Finished? Lu Hanyu coldly stares at Ban beneath him. Then it's my turn. As soon as he finishes, Lu Hanyu's muscles bulge again, his arms gripping Ban's neck tightly. Intensive mountain climber mode. Instantly, Ban is dragged 100 meters with Lu Hanyu gripping his neck. This scene shocks Alyssa. Ban is in danger now. A shadow envelops Alyssa's body. Then a cyborg figure appears before everyone. I will eliminate all threats. After speaking, Alyssa runs toward the mountaintop. Suddenly, a sword flash lights up. A figure blocks Alyssa's path. Who are you? Alyssa looks at her in confusion, having never seen this person before. I'm Lewin's niece, Rhine. After speaking, Rhine continues attacking Alyssa. With just one sword, she forces Alyssa to fumble with her dozen blades. Alyssa senses trouble and glances at the dog, signaling it to help Ban first. Hearing this, the dog turns and runs toward where Ban is. You're sending away your ally. Do you think with your amateur skills you can beat me? Alyssa stares coldly at Rhine. Of course I can. After speaking, she actively attacks Rhine. Meanwhile, on the ghoul side, the old ghoul king is commanding the battle within the city walls. Group 1's task is to confirm if there are any remaining zombies in the village. Group 2's task is to block the gate's gaps and repair the gate. Groups 3 and 4 continue fighting the zombies. Everything proceeds systematically. The Count watches this from the watchtower, his face full of shock, though Lu Hanyu's power is amazing. The battle commander is that monster called Old Ghoul King. His ability is incredibly powerful too. All these arrangements, it's like he's monitoring the war state from above. I once heard grandfather say there's a type of monster that willingly assists humans as wise ones. They were heroes of the 4th Demon Realm War, the legendary Sage Dragons. But why am I suddenly remembering this name at this moment? Back to Lu Hanyu earlier, he drags Ban along the ground. Suddenly, Ban's arm begins swelling violently, instantly transforming into the shape of a a spiked club, swinging toward Lu Hanliu's abdomen. A dull thud sounds, but Lu Hanliu, having taken the hit, smiles at Ban beneath him. Gotcha, caught by my external obliques, didn't you? Seeing Lu Hanliu's smile, Ban's face fills with terror. This guy, he hasn't taken a liking to my transformation ability, has he? At this moment, Ban is extremely anxious, but no matter how hard he tries, he can't pull the club from Lu Hanliu's grip. At this moment, several barks ring out. It's the dog Beltorman arriving. Seeing his master trapped, he's extremely anxious. The next moment, he uses his ultimate technique, Bone Tornado. Bone Tornado is Beltorman's ultimate move, combining wind, rain, and necromancy. The skulls in it are as hard as diamonds. Anyone caught in it can be easily crushed to pieces. But even such a powerful Bone Tornado is completely useless against Lu Hanliu. My ultimate move doesn't even work. Beltorman instantly deflates. But the next moment, he hears Ban's encouraging voice and rallies again. Thanks to Beltorman's interruption, Ban finally gets a chance to breathe. At some point, he has inserted more potions into his body. I wasn't planning to use this move. You forced me. Lu Hanliu watches his performance expressionlessly. No matter how strong this guy gets, he can't surpass my grip strength. Just as Lu Hanliu thinks this, Ban's hand suddenly appears before his eyes, and the next moment grips Lu Hanliu's neck tightly. At this moment, Ban has transformed into a sphere shape, staring viciously at Lu Hanliu. This shocks Lu Hanliu. The opponent's round body is impossible to grip, but the next moment, Ban's massive fist appears before Lu Hanliu's eyes. The huge fist solidly strikes Lu Hanliu. Instantly, Lu Hanliu is sent flying with one punch. After Lu Hanliu lands, Ban begins moving rapidly on the ground. He looks at Lu Hanliu like a toy, full of mockery. Now your eyes can't even keep up with my movements, right? Out of respect for General Lewin, I wasn't planning to use this move. Blame yourself for seeking death and meddling in others' business. After speaking, Ban launches an attack at Lu Hanliu. Lu Hanliu strikes the bodybuilding pose, front abdominals and thighs, rear lats, blocking Ban's attack. This shocks Ban. I hit so hard, why doesn't this guy feel anything? But Lu Hanliu, who appears relaxed on the surface, is already serious inside. Now, to win this battle, I must keep blocking the opponent's attacks with my muscles until he exhausts himself. At this moment, Lu Hanliu doesn't yet understand that Ban's physique was developed through unnatural means. As Ban's countless attacks land on Lu Hanliu, he gradually senses something is wrong. Since this level of attack won't work, I'll just hit harder. The next moment, he charges toward Lu Hanliu with even greater momentum. The powerful attack instantly causes Lu Hanliu's muscles to scream in pain. Landing a successful hit, Ban shifts position again. Lu Hanliu grits his teeth, his pupils darting wildly, constantly searching for Ban's location. Sensing Ban's incoming attack, he executes the bodybuilding pose supine press. With a thunderous boom, their clash makes the earth itself tremble. Lu Hanliu grits his teeth and pushes forcefully against Ban. Ban stares at Lu Hanliu before him, his eyes filled with shock. What kind of monster is this guy? At this moment, he's already starting to back down internally. This guy's frontal strength is absolutely not something I can match. The next moment, he uses the force to propel himself into the air. Since I can't win head-on, I'll avoid direct confrontation for now. With that thought, he continues charging toward Lu Hanliu below. Lu Hanliu watches Ban constantly moving around him, his face speechless. When will this guy finally get tired? Meanwhile, on Handad's side, Parang faces attacks from both Handad and Raphael with ease. Under Parang's invincible windmill, the two can't even get close. You two are far too weak, Parang says disdainfully. Hearing this, Raphael nods non-committally. We know our strength doesn't match yours, but we possess the power of bond, and that alone makes us far superior to you, you brute. With that, Raphael continues charging toward Parang with his sword raised. But the next moment, he's sent flying by Parang's casual strike. Seeing this, Handad beside him flies into a rage. You despicable villain, how dare you hurt him? Witness my secret technique, swift blade through chaos. With that, Handad charges at Parang with his sword. Too slow, Parang clicks his tongue disdainfully. He vanishes from beneath Handad's blade. In his place appears Raphael's figure. Seeing this, Handad panics, his arms straining desperately to stop the greatsword. Finally, when the blade is just 0.1 centimeters from Raphael, the greatsword stops. But before he can breathe a sigh of relief, Parang has already appeared behind him, ready to launch an attack. Just then, a sound cuts through the air. Handad looks back in confusion. Lu Hanliu has appeared here at some point. Meanwhile, in an unknown small village at the frontier, a man is now gasping for breath, urgently calling out, General Lewin! Seeing this, General Lewin's face shows helplessness. How can you barge into a lady's boudoir? Could it be you finally couldn't hold back and want to, with me? Hearing this, the man's face shows horror. General Lewin, what have you been reading? There's no time for jokes now. White Dragon Kingdom's Viling Island is in serious trouble. We urgently need your support. Hearing this, Lewin waves dismissively. Such a small matter, the army can handle it. I thought it was something serious. Are you really not planning to, with me? It could have been handled, but I heard the zombie leader is called Ban. Hearing this, Lewin bursts into laughter. Looks like Ban's luck is terrible too. The man asks curiously, what do you mean? Lewin slowly raises two fingers. Viling Island currently has two shields. One shield is an ally named Lu Hanliu. The other is my dear niece, Rhine. She's hailed as the rising star of this continent. In the extremely distant dark age of the continent, warfare raged endlessly everywhere. Among them, the ancient elves, who weren't skilled in physical activity and were weary of conflict, continuously suffered one-sided abuse and persecution from all races. One day, a human physician named Joseph Pilates suddenly appeared. To prevent the ancient elves from suffering oppression and persecution from all races, he developed a breathing exercise method exclusive to the ancient elves, naming it Pilates. In modern times, Pilates is no longer just an exercise method, but has become a combat technique exclusive to the fairies, widely practiced. Rhine has always guarded the fairies' forest, and she transformed the fairies' Pilates into her own exclusive technique in just 7 years. You think you can escape by flying into the air? Alyssa glares at Rhine's figure in the sky, her teeth clenched. I will destroy you! With that, Alyssa charges toward Rhine in the sky. Who said I'm dodging? Rhine clicks her tongue disdainfully. The next moment, she charges toward Alyssa as well. With a clang, their sword tips meet, resonating with metallic ringing. The next moment, Alyssa is startled again. Rhine spins in midair, her toes pressing firmly against the longsword in Alyssa's hand. Using only the force from Alyssa's sword, she stands upright in midair. Looking down at Alyssa, her face shows disdain. I already told you, you're no match for me. The battle isn't over yet. After speaking, Alyssa launches a series of thrusts at Rhine, but Rhine deflects them effortlessly. She spins her longsword, forcing Alyssa into continuous retreat. The pattern on your sword resembles my aunt's blade, but your swordsmanship is far inferior to hers. At this moment, Lewin, far away, suddenly sneezes. Could my two beloved disciples be thinking of me? The scene shifts to Lu Hanliu's side. Lu Hanliu endures Ban's attacks, his face showing helplessness. Isn't this damn thing tired after fighting for so long? Ban stares at Lu Hanliu, cold sweat dripping down. Is he human or ghost? After taking so many of my attacks, how is he still standing? I should be asking you, when will you finally get tired? Tired? Only the useless complain of exhaustion, with enemies surrounding us. How can I be tired? Back then, to defeat General Lewin, I worked sleeplessly for 30 days straight to complete this drug. Now, my power rivals that of dragons. Die, you monster demi-human. Hearing this, Lu Hanliu becomes furious. I wake at cockcrow and sleep at the dog's bark, training seriously every day to achieve today's results. And you're taking drugs. The next moment, his hands press down hard on Ban's hands. Seeing this, Ban is shocked. This monster's arm strength rivals a dragon's, and the drug's side effects are coming. The next moment, he pulls back and retreats. I need to use the neutralizer quickly. Lu Hanliu watches baffled. What's going on? Why retreat so suddenly? Are you going to transform again and give me a different surprise? Suddenly, Ban's originally rotund body begins to decay. The next moment, he curls up on the ground, vomiting loudly. Lu Hanliu watches this scene with concern. Do you have malnutrition or gout? You need to take better care of your body. Ban doesn't have malnutrition or gout. After the drug's effects wear off, a question suddenly surfaces in his mind. Why must I fight this monster? How about we call a truce? He looks at Lu Hanliu. Why must we fight to the death? Don't you think spending our time fighting in this beautiful world is a waste of life? Hearing this, Lu Hanliu's face darkens. Do you think I want to fight? Weren't you the one who started this? Do you know how many fitness beginners have been prevented from training because of you? I'm sorry. Hearing this, Ban actually sheds tears. I can't believe I did such things. I'm truly inhuman. The next moment, he drops to his knees before Lu Hanliu with a thud. Everything I've done was to save Alyssa. Alyssa? Who's Alyssa? Lu Hanliu asks in confusion. Alyssa is dead. I must have revenge. I came here for revenge. After speaking, Ban bursts into wild laughter. Pain. It's so painful. This drug is so agonizing it makes your head feel like it's splitting open. But I must have my revenge, since you won't let me go. Then this time, before the side effects kick in, I'll end this once and for all. But before he finishes speaking, Ban is startled. A broken and battered figure flashes across the distant sky, and that is Alyssa's figure. 32 years ago on White Dragon Kingdom's Wailang Island, Ban was only 17 years old then, and he and the current Count were close friends who grew up together. Do you know why our nation's people have such weak magic power? Ban asked the Count, who is practicing swordsmanship beside him. The Count was also only 17 then. Hearing the question, he doesn't look up, focusing all his energy on the sword in his hands. You're the next leader of Wailang Island. Aren't you even a bit curious? Not receiving a response, Ban continues asking. The young Count speaks helplessly. Even if I say I don't want to hear it, you'll tell me anyway, won't you? After speaking, he stops his movements and looks at Ban. Go ahead. Hearing this, Ban closes the magic book he was reading and begins explaining. Because magic power is different from swordsmanship. Magic power is a technique that's easily affected by fluctuations. The more emotional changes one experiences, the more smoothly magic power flows. But Wailang Island's people are accustomed to following established rules and always reading others' faces, leading to emotional suppression, which prevents smooth use of magic power. That's why there's been no progress in this area. Hearing this, the young Count responds, magic power is a technique that doesn't need strengthening. Magic is the witch's curse, just as swordsmanship belongs to us. Cultivating our innate power is the spirit and identity of White Kingdom's people. Not bad. Hearing this, Ban gives a thumbs up. What you just said sounds like those outdated politicians. Are you asking for death? After speaking, the young Count tosses a training wooden sword in front of Ban. Let's spar after a long time. Alright, after speaking, Ban slowly stands up. Let's warm up then. Soon, the sound of wooden swords clashing fills the field. But after a short while, Ban is knocked to the ground by the Count. It's now 123 to 43. The two turn back in surprise. Young General Lewin is standing there at some point point. Ban, it's not that you lack ability. Why does your momentum always weaken at the end? Hearing Luan's question, Ban gradually stands up and says, because swordsmanship is really too boring. That's because you haven't reached our level yet. Once you reach our level, you'll know how interesting swordsmanship is. Look at our future lord, how much he enjoys it. But the young count actually also finds swordsmanship boring. Just then, a voice suddenly rings out, interrupting everyone. I think it's actually because they're too weak. Hearing this, the two are shocked. Who is it? Making such bold claims here. She's someone I brought. General Luan steps forward. I haven't introduced her to you yet, have I? She's your sparring partner for today's sword practice, and also my treasured disciple, Elisa. Elisa looks at the two before her, though smiling. Her tone is full of disdain. If it's trash at their level, I can win even in a 1 against 2. You brat, what did you say? The two become furious. How dare you brag so shamelessly here? I can't take it anymore. But at this moment, Elisa's expression darkens. You despicable brat, did you just call me a brat? Seeing Elisa suddenly charging over, the two are shocked. The next second, they're both lying on the ground. That was too brutal. Looks like from today on, we can't say the word brat anymore. Elisa seems very different from those hypocritical nobles. So pure, so unpretentious, so different. Should I say she has a kind of pure beauty? Her face is also very pretty. Just then, Ban beside him interrupts his thoughts. He looks over curiously. I have a dream. I must marry Elisa. Hearing this, the young count jumps up in fright. Ban looks at him speechless. Why are you so surprised? Nothing. The young count breaks into a cold sweat. I just think it's too sudden. Besides, I feel Elisa isn't interested in men weaker than her. Can you win her over? Your swordsmanship is so weak, maybe you should just give up. Hearing this, Ban is undeterred. Starting today, I'll definitely practice swordsmanship seriously. Thus, their record became 127 to 56, 129 to 92, 129 to 130. Why can't I beat him? The young count's heart fills with bitterness. Are you really not planning to spar with us? Ban asks. The young count nods. Though he really wants to join them, he still says he needs to hurry home to handle official business. Useless. I sent you to learn swordsmanship, yet you can't even beat a commoner. The young count is about to explain to his father. The next moment, the old lord's wine glass flies at him, cutting off his words. I don't want to hear your excuses. I never thought my only son would be so incompetent. Get out. I'm very sorry, father. Count, I'll take my leave now. Rain suddenly pours from the sky, making an already gloomy mood even heavier. The young count has always lived in his father's shadow, eventually becoming both weak and incompetent. You'll catch a cold sitting here. Suddenly, a voice interrupts his thoughts. It's fine. You may leave, but she doesn't leave. Instead, she steps forward and takes the young count's arm. You say it's fine with an expression like you're about to die. Does that really make everything okay? I think you don't know how to enjoy life. Now, come with me. And so, the young count is dragged away. He's very curious. Why can this young woman always keep smiling? Could it be because she's with me that she's so happy? Suddenly, a thought that shouldn't arise surfaces from his heart. Could it be that the person she likes isn't Ban, but me? With this thought, a ray of sunlight shines into the young count's heart. I will love you more than anyone in the world. Things finally take a turn one day. Did you hear? Ban confessed to Elisa and got rejected. I thought they were already dating. Ban got rejected? He secretly rejoices. Does this mean I have a chance? Elisa really is interested in me. With this thought, he rushes quickly to Elisa's house. Elisa, I like you. No, I love you. He makes a decision about his future for the first time. Even if this relationship will be suppressed by my father, even if I have to give up my position as heir, having you is enough. I only want you. I will make you happy. But when he pulls back the curtain beside him, the scene before his eyes causes him immense pain. Elisa and Ban have progressed from sword sparring to a battle between lips and tongues. Their tongues are engaged in fierce combat right before the young count's eyes. This scene pierces the innocent heart of the young man. The night before this happened, Ban anxiously asks Elisa, why did you reject me? I can tell you like me too. You said you like men whose swordsmanship is stronger than yours. I worked hard to practice swordsmanship, though I don't win every time. It's about 50-50 now. Can you not reject me so quickly? Think about it some more. But before he finishes speaking, Ban is startled. At this moment, Elisa's entire body radiates immense magic power. My body has possessed this uncontrollable magic power since the day I was born. If magic power becomes too strong, it harms the body. Therefore, I must occasionally release the excessively accumulated magic power. Though I can secretly release it while hiding from everyone now, someday I'll be discovered. So right now, I don't have the courage to drag someone precious into this and make them an accomplice. But after hearing this, Ban steps forward and embraces her tightly. Elisa is shocked. What are you doing? Like this, your own body will be affected by the magic power. Hearing this, Ban looks up at Elisa before him with solemn expression. I am the only magic scholar on White Kingdom's Wailing Island. From this moment, I swear to heaven, I will help you solve your problem. I will love you for a lifetime and spend the rest of my days with you. Thus, Ban spent a period of happy days with Elisa. If the story ended here, it would be considered a happy ending. But happy days often don't last long. One day, Elisa can no longer suppress the magic power within her body. As she ages, the magic power within grows as well. Someday, she won't be able to suppress it at all. After this, Ban immerses himself in the laboratory day and night. He secludes himself in the laboratory for quite a while, and finally discovers a substance that can enhance physical abilities. If only I can complete this research. As long as I can complete this research, I can love you for a lifetime. Please wait for me, Elisa. Elisa, Alyssa, you can't do this. Why do you reek of alcohol? Alyssa, don't we like each other? Why are you doing this to me? Weren't we happy before? Hearing this, Alyssa freezes. I didn't mean it that way. If I made you misunderstand, I'm sorry. After speaking, she raises her hand covered in magic power and looks at the young count. Even if we really got together, could you wholeheartedly love me? Someone who must use magic and is deemed a heretic? You clearly knew about my situation long ago, yet you've been pretending it doesn't exist. I've always known. You've followed me several times. The young count anxiously interrupts Alyssa. That's because, back then, I didn't have the courage to defy my father. But even now I still don't dare. The young count flees. Distressed in his heart, emboldened by alcohol, he finds his father to complain. After this, Viling Island faces an unprecedented great drought. The cracked earth causes the island's citizens to have no harvest at all. Water resources are nearly non-existent. Even the cows can no longer produce milk. They find the Lord, hoping he can stand up and make the heavens drop some rain. The Lord quietly watches these citizens from within the castle. If it could rain, that would certainly be wonderful. But he's not a god. How could he make rain fall? The young count asks his father worriedly, how should this matter be handled? The Lord isn't panicked at all. He's seen similar scenes too many times. They're not blaming me. They just want a target to vent their anger on, wanting to push the responsibility for the heavens not raining onto me. In other words, they just want a scapegoat. And conveniently, there's someone who can replace me as their scapegoat. And that person is the Alyssa you confess to. I never thought my worthless son would have a day when he'd be useful. If you hadn't come to complain to me, I wouldn't have known a witch still existed in this country. You can't, father, the young count shouts anxiously. As a father, how can you exploit the person your son admires? But before he finishes speaking, he's slapped to the ground by the old lord. You foolish creature. You're going to become the ruler here in the future. How can you be swayed by romantic feelings? I can't indulge you anymore. Guards, confine him to his room. Thus, the young count is confined to his own room. But he also resists his father with action for the first time. She's the woman he loves. Even if he can't have her, he can't just watch her die. Finally, he finds Alyssa in the crowd, but the surrounding crowd recognizes him. He just called the witch his name. If he's really the witch's accomplice, even as the Lord's son, he must be punished too. The crowd's hateful and extreme statements frighten the timid and cowardly him. So he flees once again, just as he always has. No other story unfolds. Alyssa dies in the end. Ban, who rushes over, is ultimately one step too late, though his arm is severed by the guards. The pain in his heart is beyond measure. He hates these ignorant people, hates Viling Island's lord, but at this moment he hates himself most. If only the research had been completed faster. Time returns to the present. Watching Alyssa's body scattering in the air, Ban is extremely anxious and lifts his leg to rush toward where Alyssa is, but Lu Hanliu blocks Ban's path. Ban is both anxious and angry. This damned guy, don't block me. But Lu Hanliu says nothing, only executing the intensive double-arm dumbbell press. The next moment, immense force sends Ban flying backward. Watching Ban being sent flying, Lu Hanliu is somewhat puzzled. Why did his movement suddenly become so predictable? At this moment, Ban, sent flying by Lu Hanliu, anxiously stands up and runs into the distance, but he's intercepted by Lu Hanliu and knocked to the ground with one punch. Then, Lu Hanliu mounts Ban's body, pounding Ban's fragile heart with punch after punch. Lu Hanliu clenches his fists tightly again. Both fists slam down hard toward Ban's face. It's the legendary fitness technique straight arm pull down, truly terrifying. Then, Lu Hanliu raises his fists again, once again slamming down hard on Ban beneath him. He executes the fitness technique that exists only in legend, the tricep cable pushdown. After finishing, Lu Hanliu's fists are covered with Ban's blood. Ban also lies on the ground, unconscious. Should I continue to take out the other zombies? Just as Lu Hanliu thinks this, Beltormund suddenly appears and launches Bone Tornado. Just as Lu Hanliu takes his stance, preparing to disperse the tornado goes straight around him and sweeps up Ban behind him. Then, several more bone tornadoes rise in the field. The defeated Alyssa, Ban, and Purang are all swept up by Beltormund. Lu Hanliu watches the scene and can't help but smile. Is he trying to take his family away? As expected, dogs are humanity's most loyal companions. This won't change anywhere. Ryan also watches the scene quietly from a distance with no intention of stopping it. The Count in the distance watches the scene with extreme anxiety. We absolutely can't let them escape like this. He'll definitely come back for revenge. Chase after them. Kill him. Rhine. Hearing this, Rhine doesn't chase. Instead, she turns around and walks toward Viling Island. This scene leaves the Count baffled. Are you deaf? Why aren't you chasing Ban? Why are you coming here? Go chase Ban. But Rhine charges straight toward the Count. You despicable villain! What did you do to my aunt? Hearing this, the Count is terrified and flees, ordering everyone to block Rhine. The new guards are used to this, only watching the Count's fleeing figure with disdainful eyes. At this moment, Rhine, who has rushed to the city gate, is blocked by Handad and the others. Junior Rhine, we can't let you go any further. Rhine's face shows disdain. You two senior brothers can't stop me. Of course we know we can't stop you, but we possess the power of friendship and bond. After speaking, the two thrust their swords toward Rhine, but Rhine flips and stands on the blade of Handad's thrusting sword. Rhine's body bends slightly as she stands on the sword blade, executing the ultimate technique, stacked toe bones. With a light leap, She lands on the watchtower, but the Count has long fled. Only the guards remain on the watchtower. We can't let you attack the Count. After speaking, the guard launches an attack at Rhine, but Rhine merely taps the guard's head lightly with her sword hilt, causing the guard to lose combat ability. Just then, a large hand strikes. Rhine leaps lightly, dodging this attack. It turns out Bullock has arrived. Can you stop, Junior Rhine? Oh, it's Senior Bullock. You used to just be a bit handsome, but now even your physique has improved. But with such slow attacks, are your opponents snails? After speaking, Rhine leaps backward. Soon, Rhine finds the Count fleeing rapidly. Looking at the Count, Rhine's face is full of resentment. Where do you think you're escaping to? You must take responsibility for our family's downfall. After speaking, she thrusts her sword toward the Count. The Count is terrified, but the sharp sword thrusting toward the Count stops when it's 0.01 centimeters away from him. Rhine's calf is tightly gripped by someone, unable to move. It turns out Liu Hanyu has arrived. The Count is immediately overjoyed. Then he's shocked again. Rhine actually raises the sword in her hand high, planning to throw the sword like this to stab the Count to death. But the next moment, Liu Hanyu directly executes the ultimate technique, straight arm pull down, and Rhine is heavily slammed to the ground. The straight arm pull down movement isn't effective with just one rep. You need to do at least one set. After finishing, Liu Hanyu feels completely refreshed. But looking at the figure beneath him, he's somewhat worried. It's all because those previous opponents were too bulky, causing me to not control my strength well. She didn't just die, did she? Hearing this, the Count signals Liu Hanyu not to worry. She probably just passed out. Time quickly passes by several days. Rhine, who has been unconscious for several days, finally wakes up. She looks around blankly. Who are you? Where is this? The boy responds, this is a guest room on Weiling Island. Master Liu Hanyu instructed me to take care of you. You can tell me if you need anything. Really? Rhine is delighted. Then can you tell me where the Count is? The Count is taking Master Liu Hanyu's coaching session. Would you like to come with me to see? Can you really take me there? Rhine is a bit skeptical. Doesn't this child know she came to kill the Count? Soon, the two arrive in a forest. You're really not deceiving me? Who would train in such a harsh environment? Just trust me, Lady Rhine. Look, Master Liu Hanyu and the others are over there. He actually brought her here. Rhine is somewhat baffled. What's happening before her eyes makes her eyes widen even more. At this moment, the Count is on all fours, gasping for breath, like a horse, with Liu Hanyu being pulled behind him. At this moment, seeing Rhine, the Count is overjoyed. Didn't you say you wanted to kill me? Rhine, come on! Not receiving a response, the Count becomes anxious and turns his head to look. At this moment, Rhine's entire body is sparkling with little stars. She really is General Lewin's niece indeed. Soon, the Count's group completes their training. The Count gathers the ministers of internal affairs and Liu Hanyu's group to begin handling this incident. Since the main personnel are all here, let's begin the discussion. The Minister of Internal Affairs immediately steps forward. First point, due to Ban's attack, the nation's main soldiers died in battle. To solve the decline in national power, we summoned General Lewin, who was exiled to the frontier, but she has important matters to handle and declined. After speaking, he looks at the Count. May I ask who should be held accountable for these losses? The Count waves his hand. Let's just demote both Handad and Raphael. How about it? That's a great idea. Count, you're a genius. Next, we'll discuss the second matter. Many citizens, after seeing Liu Hanyu's active performance, rushed to the training grounds expressing their desire to work out. So we formed a bodybuilding swordsman unit. We've decided to have the ghoul athlete serve as temporary training commander. Does everyone agree? This is a good thing. Of course we agree. We're truly grateful to Master Liu Hanyu for assisting in protecting our nation's defense security. Hearing this, Liu Hanyu waves his hand, signaling to wait a moment. Then he stands up and slowly walks toward the Count. Seeing Liu Hanyu approach him with a dark expression, the Count breaks into a cold sweat. He says, trembling, Master Liu Hanyu, if you have any dissatisfaction, you can tell me. We can discuss it. The next moment, Liu Hanyu kicks and shatters the chair the Count is sitting on. This leaves the Count baffled. Did I do something wrong again? Why do you look so angry? Hearing this, Liu Hanyu turns his gaze to the ghoul beside him. Weren't you in my training class? Why are you actually sitting on a chair? All right, I understand. At this moment, tears flow from the corners of the Count's eyes. We need to finish the discussion quickly. Let's briefly explain all matters and speed things up. Worthy of being the Count who gets abused daily, he adjusts his state so quickly. All right, the minister stands forward. Next, the third item concerns Rhine, though Rhine is suspected of attempting to assassinate the Count, considering the nation's current situation and her past grievances with the Count. We've decided on a reduced sentence, but according to regulations, we will revoke Rhine's citizenship on Weiling Island. At this moment, the Count stares intently at Rhine before him. I know you harbor resentment toward me. If you're dissatisfied with the sentence, tell me loudly now. I can still give you the right to kill me. No wait, just hurry up and kill me. The ministers fall silent. How is there still someone asking for death? Then they all turn their gazes to Rhine. I refuse. Hearing this, the Count becomes angry. How can you lack such perseverance? It's just one failed assassination attempt. An incompetent person like me has no qualifications to lead this country. Now, I grant you the power to judge my crimes. Anyone is fine, just pass judgment on me quickly. Hearing this, Liu Hanyu is amused. What you mean is, you want to reduce your official duties time and focus on exercising with me? That's a good idea. You're quite clever. At this moment, the ministers are also watching covetously from the side. In this incident, the Count's power has been greatly weakened. It seems we could get the Lord's position with just a flick of our fingers. fingers. Liu Hanyu didn't expect that these people would be so thoughtful to give the Count more time to exercise with him. He's extremely moved. I've decided, whoever takes the Count's position, I will wholeheartedly help them enhance their physical fitness. Thank you, Mother. It's so good that you didn't give birth to me in the Weiling Island heir's family. Indeed, the Count himself is most suitable for this position. Keep it up, Count. Stop talking. The Count feels like crying. Let's just continue discussing the next matter. In the following discussion, the Count promises Hanyu he'll create the exercise equipment he wants. However, the equipment Hanyu wants cannot be produced with Weiling Island's current technology. But word has it that Behemoth, the Earth Spirit King, has the ability to make it. The problem is, no one knows where Behemoth is. Just then, Rhine steps forward. I'm familiar with this. While learning Pilates, I lived alongside fairies, so naturally I can communicate with spirits. Perfect! Hangyu's face lights up with joy. Can you take me to find Behemoth? Rhine nods. That's easy, but can you help me with something in return and assist me in my revenge? The Count is shocked. Didn't I already kneel and beg you to kill me? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those who killed my entire family. The Dark Mage Group Oculus. The scene shifts to another location. Ban is in some unknown cave, continuously explaining something to two people before him. I really won't make mistakes next time. This time there were truly significant variables. But that person is very disappointed in you now. Ban, wouldn't it be better without Alyssa? The next moment, Ban charges at them with massive fists raised. How dare you target Alyssa? I'll kill you. At this moment, not far from the cave entrance, another person arrives. Finally found you, Oculus. You dared to lay hands on Alyssa. I'll slaughter every last one of you. Before he finishes speaking, he rushes at Scarecrow with raised fists. However, Scarecrow easily blocks this thunderous strike. Witnessing Ban's rage spiraling out of control, Scarecrow and his companion show no trace of tension, but instead let out mocking laughter. Look at you going berserk. How utterly ridiculous. One of them coldly declares, I've decided I'm going to eliminate Alyssa. At this moment, Ban quickly injects several potions into his body. In an instant, his arms swell once more. Then with devastating force, he smashes towards Scarecrow. A tremendous crash sends dust billowing into the air, but those two companions silently transform into blurred shadows within the smoke. No matter how frantically Ban attacks, he cannot inflict even the slightest damage on them. Listening to Ban's futile roars, the two continuously let out derisive laughter. Ban knows well he's no match for them, so he gathers all his strength for one final heavy punch, and using the billowing dust as cover, flees the cave in panic. That person truly has divine foresight. They must have foreseen Ban's betrayal, which is why they expelled him. She pauses. What should we do about the research journals Ban left behind? Scarecrow turns to look at her. Those research journals belong to me. The girl lets out another disdainful sneer. Many members are eyeing his research results. Do you really think you can claim them? Just then, a sound abruptly echoes from the sky, interrupting their conversation. The two look up in confusion. A shadow descends upon them, followed immediately by countless sharp sword beams. The next moment, they're completely surrounded by a dense array of sword lights. It turns out General Lewin has arrived in time. Looks like I've cut down quite a bit of straw. General Lewin's tone is cold. Seeing his body has been cut, Scarecrow grinds his teeth in hatred. He immediately unleashes his full aura. He executes his secret technique, Scythe of Decay, then launches a fierce attack at General Lewin. However, General Lewin simply shifts slightly to the side and easily dodges this lethal strike. But the trees behind her aren't so fortunate. In just an instant, they all turn into withered branches and dead leaves. After dodging the attack, General Lewin draws her sword without hesitation and charges at Scarecrow. At this moment, Scarecrow has already cast magic to enlarge himself. His scythe rises high and with a whistling sound, slashes viciously toward General Lewin. General Lewin remains calm and blocks this strike with ease. In our country, when people show respect to their ancestors, they clear the weeds from their graves. General Lewin continues attacking Scarecrow as she speaks. Isn't this custom rather boring? It's an old tradition from hundreds of years ago, yet we still maintain it today, but I really can't abandon this custom. After all, I'm just an old stubborn fool. As her words fall, General Lewin leaps into the air, then unleashes her secret technique, Monk's Sword Draw. On another side, the Count's face is numb, his sword continuously swinging as he struggles to clear the weeds before him. I told you to stop cutting grass, Rhine's displeased voice rings out. The spirits won't be happy, but the Count remains unmoved. I must ensure Master Hanyu's path is completely clear. Just then, Hanyu steps forward and gently pats the Count's shoulder. I appreciate the thought, but I'm fine. You should move to the back and continue forward in a lunge squat position. After speaking, he turns his gaze to Rhine. Are you sure we're going the right way? I feel like we've been going in circles since earlier. This is definitely right, Rhine says with certainty. The spirit path is different from ordinary roads. Hearing this, Hanyu crouches down and pats the ground beneath his feet, his face lighting up with excitement. The ground here is very soft. It seems perfect for jump squats. Then he turns his gaze to everyone behind him. Let's do 20 jump squats first. At this moment, Rhine is focusing intently on sensing the spirit's location. As she gradually empties her mind, she can sense the birds singing in the forest, the rustling of leaves swaying in the wind, and the subtle movements of flower buds quietly blooming. Following her guidance, the spirit path gradually emerges. Well done. Let's do 40 more. How many did I just say? Hanliu asks. The ghouls immediately shout at the top of their lungs. 40. Too quiet. Hanliu roars. 60. Ready. How many did I just say? 60. The ghouls respond in unison. Good. Hanliu nods with satisfaction. Very spirited, but before he finishes speaking, Ryan pulls him along, and together they enter the spirit realm. The scene before him leaves Hanyu completely amazed. Just let the wind carry your body, Ryan says calmly beside him. This is the spirit realm where land spirits dwell. Mother Earth, Gaia. Witnessing this scene, the ghouls are all extremely excited. But the next moment, they crash heavily to the ground. Some even plunge headfirst into the dirt upside down. Master Hanyu, my body feels so heavy. Exactly. Hanyu also nods. Perfect for some squats. Just then, the ground suddenly trembles violently. Watching everything unfold before him, Hanyu's eyes gleam with excitement. To think there's such an amazing home gym here. I really want to meet that guy called Behemoth soon. The next moment, several golems launch an attack on Hanyu's group. Seeing this, everyone immediately scatters and flees. Only Hanyu steadily catches the golem's massive fist. The ghouls are amazed. Master Hanyu is too powerful, but even more shocking scenes follow. Countless golems swarm toward Hanyu. One after another piles heavily on top of him, with over a dozen golems' weight stacked together. Even Hanyu can't help but roar. Progressive overload. This is incredible. The next moment, rumbling sounds echo from the ground. Is it an earthquake? The ghouls wonder in confusion. Bullock shouts, "It looks like Master is transforming." At this moment, Hanyu has transformed into a giant, lifting countless golems high. Then he turns his gaze to the old ghoul king below. Old ghoul king, increase the weight. The old ghoul king immediately releases 10 times heavy shield, pressing down hard on Hanyu. Hanyu is extremely satisfied with this and begins squatting rhythmically while holding the golems. What are they doing, Ryan asks in confusion. Today is Master Hanyu's glutes and legs day, a ghoul explains. What's glutes and legs day? Ryan is even more confused. Just then, Bullock walks up. Glutes and legs day is a day specifically for training the lower body. At this precise moment, a voice suddenly rings out, interrupting everyone's conversation. Another group of little ants has snuck in. I am the master of the spirit realm Gaia, Behemoth. What is your purpose here? However, no one answers. Everyone's gaze turns to Hanyu. After a long while, Hanyu sets the golems down. He strides imposingly toward the seaside. Behemoth's face is full of question marks. Would you just answer? What exactly do you want here? After a long while, having replenished his hydration, Hanyu lifts his head and says seriously, muscle development naturally requires water. Water intake is essential for muscle growth. Although seawater has too much sodium and isn't suitable as a regular water source, the seawater here tastes smooth and mild. Hearing this, the ghouls completely erupt. We can grow muscle just by drinking this water? So everyone jumps into the seawater and starts soaking. At this moment, Hanyu's face is refreshed, and he shouts toward the sky, let's talk business now. But Behemoth is furious. You dare drink water while talking to me? What a shameless and rude bunch. After speaking, he summons another group of golems, and suddenly raises a maze, surrounding everyone. This maze is a living maze, Behemoth says proudly. Without spirit assistance, you'll never find the exit. Moreover, I've placed golems inside this maze to welcome you. Can you pass through this constantly changing maze, break through the golems, and reach me? Ryan smiles at this, then bends her knees and crouches on the ground. The next moment, she flies straight toward the sky, but suddenly, a powerful gravity presses down hard on her. In an instant, she's pinned firmly to the ground. The gravity is too strong. I can't fly up at all. Just then, tremors suddenly spread around them. It turns out the ghouls are struggling to push the walls. Behemoth is utterly speechless at this sight. What a bunch of fools. These walls cannot be pushed down with your bare hands. However, as soon as he finishes speaking, Hanyu has already cracked the wall. The next moment, this wall shatters before Hanyu. At the same time, Bullock also smashes the wall in front of him. His face beams with joy. With Master Hanyu creating cracks for us, everyone just needs to focus on the cracked parts and we can smash the walls. Hearing this, the ghouls also shatter a wall, all extremely excited. But what should we do about these golems? Just then, a sword beam flashes. Ryan raises her sword and strikes fiercely at the golem's eyes. The next moment, the golem crashes to the ground, so the ghouls all climb toward the golem's heads. This scene makes Behemoth furious. You damned creatures. Soon, everyone exits the maze. Is that where Behemoth is? Ryan nods, then points to the side. But according to the spirits, we need to lift that up to see him. However, that thing is far too large. Hanyu immediately steps out from the group. We just need to lift this up? Then, as he approaches for a closer look, he can't help but freeze. On this object is tied a thick rope, and on the ceiling above, there's actually a pulley. How can this exist in another world? Hanyu is extremely puzzled. The next moment, Hanyu is completely stunned. Just turned 17 this year, still somewhat immature, he has buried his longing for home deep in his heart. When he encounters an item from home in this other world, especially this piece of equipment more poignant than anything else, his heart floods with mixed emotions. Why is there a lat pull-down machine here? The lat pull-down was exercise equipment invented in the 1960s by American coach Andrew Memrell. Andrew discovered that gripping the bar on the lat pull-down machine and pulling down closely resembles the pull-up motion, and it's safer and more efficient. Therefore, he created this essential gym equipment. To this day, various different forms of lat pull-down machines have been developed. Why is there a lat pull-down machine here? Hanyu reaches up to wipe tears from the corners of his eyes, struggling not to let his emotions collapse. I can't cry. Crying will make me lose muscle. Lat pull-down machine? The ghouls look confused. What's that? Could it be a trap? The count looks worried. Should we run? But before he finishes speaking, Ryan grabs him. Hanyu shakes his head, indicating this isn't a trap. Then he turns his gaze to the ghouls behind him. What back exercises have we done so far? Tell me. A ghoul immediately steps forward to answer. We've done single-arm dumbbell rows, pull-ups, barbell rows, and Romanian deadlifts. That's correct, Hanyu nods. Here you can assist each other and train movements similar to pull-ups. However, most people train alone most of the time. Whenever we want to stimulate the same training areas as pull-ups, the lat pull-down is the first choice. Although it trains similar areas to pull-ups, the lat pull-down allows you to choose your own training weight. Whether beginners or experienced experts, everyone loves this back training exercise. Although the lat pull-down primarily targets the scapula and lats, if you're not careful during training, there's a risk of straining the forearm muscles, biceps, or shoulders. Since we have the equipment now, after I demonstrate, I'll let you try it. Lat pull-down step 1. Adjust the weight. To keep your body stable during training, first adjust the seat pad and backrest height. Step 2. Grip the training bar. The grip width should be slightly wider than shoulder width, and keep your lower body fixed on the equipment without moving. Step 3. Don't rely on arm strength, but use your lats to pull, tighten your core, and pull the bar down. At this time, the training bar's path should be perpendicular to the ground. Step 4. Remember, don't lean back excessively, avoid bending at the waist, and don't use body momentum. However, this is too heavy for you. You should go in first. After speaking, Hanyu's muscles tighten forcefully throughout his body. The next moment, the massive iron cover slowly opens, but the Count is a bit worried. Isn't today Master Hanyu's glutes and legs day? Can he train back? The ghouls all indicate there's no need to worry. Master Hanyu's stamina is not on the same level as ours. The Count is still somewhat uneasy, but how will he get in later? Just as the ghouls don't know how to answer, noisy sounds come from around them. Hanyu pulls the bar down hard, then turns his gaze to the old ghoul king. The old ghoul king immediately releases his skill, lightening the iron cover's weight. Countless ghouls immediately step forward and lift the iron cover together. But even with reduced weight, the iron cover still leaves the ghouls breathless. Seeing this, Hanyu nods with satisfaction. Your strength has indeed increased quite a bit during this time. After speaking, he leaps and jumps into the pit. With a loud crash, the place returns to silence once more. This is too adorable. Rhine looks at the scene before her, her eyes sparkling with countless little stars. Before them appear countless spirits, looking soft and fluffy. Rhine is about to reach out and touch them, but Hanyu interrupts her. Before joining a gym, you must first consult the staff or owner. You can't just touch equipment because you want to exercise. Excellent, well said. Hanyu looks over in confusion. A figure appears. I am King Behemoth, the Earth Spirit King. That's Behemoth? The Count can hardly believe it. His belly does look a lot like mine. The old ghoul king mutters to the side. Outrageous! Behemoth roars angrily. How dare you compare me to you lowly middle-class creatures? You must be punished. But before he finishes speaking, someone punches him. Sorry. This child is acting up again. This child is called Lena. She's the highest ranked spirit on land. I am the real Behemoth. And those working here are all high-ranking spirits. Please don't treat them as ordinary animals. Seeing Hanliu's group nod, Behemoth shows a satisfied smile. Since you passed Lena's test, I roughly know your abilities. What brings you here? Hanliu immediately asks if he can create exercise machines. Exercise equipment? Behemoth considers for a moment. With enough time and materials, there's nothing I can't make. Just then, the Count steps forward. Greetings, Great Earth Spirit King Behemoth. I am Lord Kevid of Vilang Island from the White Kingdom. How should we pay for creating the equipment? You're quite polite for a human. Hearing this, Behemoth ponders for a moment. Then he looks at the Count. We spirits don't need your money, so please use something other than money as payment. As it happens, recently some loach-like fellows have polluted this pure land. These loaches are quite formidable. All the scout soldiers we sent have lost contact. Can you help us restore peace to this land and eliminate those loach creatures? Han Liu immediately nods, ready to agree. The Count quickly raises his hand to stop him, then turns his gaze to Behemoth. Can someone guide us? The previous times, we only sent a middle-ranked spirit to investigate. Since you'll be assisting this time, let the highest-ranked spirit Lena guide you. Lena cries out in surprise. She turns around and says weakly, I still need to manage things here. Hearing this, Behemoth opens his mouth and breathes out cold air. You think I don't know you just sleep in and eat snacks here every day? Hurry up and go guide them. The scene shifts back to General Lewin's side. At this moment, she's staring at the enemies before her with a grave expression. They're nothing more than a few annoying flies. That doesn't seem quite right, because they sting. Let's call them bees then. And I am the honey collector. After speaking, General Lewin charges at them. The next moment, the enemies are all sent flying by Lewin, and in just 1 second, she harvests multiple lives in midair. The survivors are shocked at this sight. As expected of General Lewin, Viling Island's strongest truly lives up to the reputation. But Lewin never likes to waste words. The next moment, she sheathes her sword. The flies that were still airborne are split in two the next moment. The others are greatly shocked. Is this still within human limits? Even though they had already placed General Lewin among the strong in their minds, they never imagined she'd be this powerful. At this moment, Lewin has summoned countless sword shadows. Looking at the sword shadows in the sky, everyone is now extremely calm. To die under such a powerful warrior's blade means we haven't lived in vain. The next moment, Lewin controls the sword shadows to attack everyone. With a thunderous crash, the place returns to silence once more. After dealing with these people, General Lewin continues walking forward. Since I'm already here, I might as well go deal with my disobedient student. At this moment, on Han Liu's side, watching Lena eat dirt, Han Liu is extremely puzzled. Lena explains, spirits of my level only need to eat minerals to read the land's memories. After eating, Lena's eyes widen in surprise. Han Liu brightens. Did you see something? Not really. I just think the soil here tastes too good. Just kidding, because the minerals here aren't old enough. Lena can't read memories memories from too long ago, so stop looking at me like I'm a glutton. So let's first find some older-looking minerals nearby. After hearing this, the ghouls begin to split up and search, but the round stones leave the ghouls unable to get a grip. Hanyu asks in confusion what they're doing. A ghoul explains quietly, "We want to take this stone, but there's no handle, so it's hard to get it out." Hearing this, Hanyu signals them to move aside. Then he places his hand on the stone. "If you need a handle." The next moment, his hand grips tightly. A handle forms in his hand. Seeing this, the ghouls beside him can't help but exclaim, as expected of Master Hanyu. But at this moment, holding the stone, Hanyu suddenly thinks of something. Then, holding the stone, Hanyu begins doing single-arm dumbbell rows. At this moment, on Bullock's side, he's also eyeing a stone before him. The next moment, Bullock crouches down and tightly embraces the massive stone. With a loud shout, he lifts the stone overhead and begins squatting rhythmically, actually using the stone to do wide pull and snatch combined with support overhead squats. Witnessing this, Hanyu praises his progress greatly. Seeing this scene, the ghouls all imitate him, each hugging a large stone and exercising. Lena watches this scene, completely speechless. Have they forgotten the task I assigned? But it doesn't matter, because she's already seen it. At this moment, on another side, a shrewd man is speaking to the person before him. "Our Oculus group highly recognizes your abilities, Cork, so that person sent me to invite you to join our organization." After speaking, the man finishes the tea before him, but the next moment, he's startled. Then he becomes furious. "You stinking toads dare to poison me during negotiations." Hearing this, the toad Cork across from him innocently says, "This isn't poison. It's alcohol called whiskey. Alcohol is the most valuable gift the gods gave to humans." But the spirit man's face shows no reduction in anger. "You wretched reptile, how dare you be so disrespectful?" But just as he's about to rush forward, waves of dizziness come over his mind. The man is immediately shocked. Just then, Cork's voice comes again. "It's not that we don't want to join you, but we're not very satisfied with your conditions. Let's have a drink first." After speaking, he orders his subordinates to pour large gulps of alcohol into the man's mouth. Before long, the man becomes completely drunk. Cork looks on with satisfaction. Now in this state, he's suitable for a proper discussion. At this moment, on Hanyu's side, Lena watches the ghouls, completely speechless. They can have so much fun playing with stones. They really are a group of uncivilized middle-class creatures. "Brother, your lats seem to have gotten much bigger recently." Hearing this, ghoul number 2 is so happy his pecs start bouncing violently, but he says modestly, "It's just a muscle pump. You're the one whose weight load has increased a lot, right?" "That's right." Ghoul number 1 scratches his head. After all, weight is the essence of building muscle. Hearing this, ghoul number 2's expression turns cold. Clearly stimulation is more important than weight, okay? Hearing this, ghoul number 1's expression also turns cold. Weight is clearly the truth. So the two ghouls engage in an intense discussion about whether weight or stimulation is more important, but fail to reach a conclusion. Since we can't stop arguing, let's have a competition. Good. That's exactly what I was thinking. The ghouls nearby are already ready to watch the drama unfold. A battle between weight and stimulation. Just hearing about it makes me feel like my pecs are getting bigger. The great battle between the two ghouls is about to begin. The next moment, they display their muscles before everyone. The weight group's front lat spread seems bigger, but the stimulation group's symmetry and proportion are more perfect than the weight group's. Then the referee calls for the two ghouls to strike pose 1. The next moment, the two ghouls strike the front double biceps pose. Then another ghoul calls out pose 2. The next moment, the ghouls strike the front lat spread pose. Just as the ghoul is about to call out pose 3, Hanyu arrives. "Are your abs too full? You've created a weight versus stimulation showdown? Instead of wasting time on nonsense, use all your strength to exercise and then use all your strength to rest." Seeing Hanyu arrive, the ghouls all gather around, asking which is more important, stimulation or weight. Hearing this, Hanyu sighs lightly. "Which do you think is more important, dumbbells or barbells? Which is more important, hamstrings or quadriceps? Which is more important, trapezius or pectoralis major?" The count in the distance watches this scene, completely speechless. He's not going to ask, which is more important, dad or mom, is he? The old ghoul king anxiously interrupts him. "Stop talking! Master Hanyu has sharp ears!" At this moment, hearing this, the ghouls also deflate. Just then, Hanyu steps forward and pats his shoulder, signaling him not to overthink it. "Isn't it fine to just increase the weight while feeling the stimulation? Treat all the training you've done so far as if it never happened and start everything from scratch." So on this day, the ghouls once again comprehend this principle with their entire bodies. Witnessing this scene, Lena can't help but sigh inwardly. It seems these people have all forgotten the task. At this moment, on Bullock's side, Ryan's words to him keep echoing in his ears. "With your attacks so slow, can you really hit your opponent?" He clearly feels he's become stronger. Master Hanyu said that